TGIF. Hope you all have had a wonderful week. I know you are ready for the weekend to begin. So, welcome to the Just Ask Char advice channel. We will be getting started very soon. So get comfortable, get ready, and relax. We sincerely thank you all for your support. This channel is sponsored by you, the subscribers. When you want to hear another perspective for yourself or a friend, then just send an email for advice to JustAskChar@gmail.com. All right, we are ready to get this show started. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend. There will always be a perspective or some advice that someone can benefit from and use. Now, here's your host of the show, Char Willie.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. What is happening? What is going on? TGIF, everyone. Hope you had a great week. Was it short? Do you think it was short or was fairly normal? I think it was short. I don't know why. Probably because I wasn't able to get a lot of my goals completed. So I'm thinking someone stole the time. I don't know. Yeah, but it felt a little, I don't know, it felt a little short. But I try to always have a daily goal. I really try not to waste time. So I'm like, okay, I got 3 things I want to do today. Try to put them in order, or sometime even juggle them and decide, well, let me do the task that I don't like the most. Let me do that one first. Sometime it get pushed in the middle. Sometime it get pushed at the end. Sometime it's just not done. But you do have to try to set some daily goals. You'd be surprised. You really be surprised. Don't waste time because you can't get it back. Once it's gone, it is gone. That's why I thank you guys for always tuning in. You know, I start on time because I do not want to waste yours. 9:30 p.m. Central, People be tired. They're winding down. Sometimes they're like, okay, this is a great time for me. Others, they like, this is late. I had a rough day. I got to do this with the kids or whatever your situation may be. And you're like, no, I'm tired. I'll catch the replay. And see, I know how it is when it comes down to the replay. So that's why I try to keep this show short as possible, because I know how it is with replays. And then everyone is doing streams, and there's, sometimes people are, their eyes are just automatically drawn to drama. You just can't help yourself. So with that, I keep all that in mind and say, hey, let's get in, let's get out. But thank you so much. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Now I have a couple of things I'll chit chat about, just a few, because we're going to do pretty much 2 shows in one. Last week we more so had a BGS for Women reunion, so we didn't get a chance to really talk about all the points of the video. So we're going to do that, and then we have another one with this guy said he had got the girl pregnant on purpose. Do you believe that? Or is this just imagination? I don't think so. I think it happens. And I know so for sure. That I promise you. So let me tell you what I'm going to tell you. Amazon Prime Day is coming up. You want to know the date? Let me see if I can find the date, because I didn't write the date down. I just said, hey, I'll tell everyone. Okay, there it is. It's June 21st and June 22nd. So it's a 2-day. So let me write it down. So I'll remind people on tomorrow when I do the article reaction. So 2 days. They have a deal, and at least I can say in the United States, so I have to be clear about that, that if you purchase something from a small business, all it has to be is $10. If you purchase from a small business on Amazon, they will give you your $10 in credit back, so you can use June 21st and June 22nd. Okay? I happen to need I needed another exercise band, and just so happened it was $12, I think, and 49 cents, and I think it had a coupon for 5% off. I think that was the sale. And I clicked on it. It was from a small business owner. I'm like, oh, wonderful, yay. So I clicked and order it. I got the receipt, email, and then right after that, or if not the same time, a $10 credit. It said, here you go. Here's your $10 for purchasing at least $10 or more from a small business. I'm like, wow, can't beat that with a stick. So check your accounts, everyone. Go to Amazon, see if they give you the offer in your state or your country or your city or your, state, country, city, all that. Check it out. You never know. And then the last thing I will mention is I found out that they charged 6 Chicago police officers in connection with the Capitol riot. I'm like, I didn't get a chance to see their faces and see what they look like, because trust me, I do want to see. I want to see. Because I'm always celebrating. So, they don't need a pension. You done forfeited that by doing the wrong thing. So I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. Do your time. You forfeit everything. Time to celebrate. And I'll do a little celebration, and then we bring the wonderful classic Ruby, everyone. Give me 1 second. I just want to hear just a little beat of it. Just a little bit. I just like to, celebrate. Got to. Here we go.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job because you are detaining me for nothing. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job. Oh my goodness. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose ain't got no reason.
I always celebrate when police officers lose their job for doing the wrong thing because you don't find that often. It just doesn't happen. But anyway, without further ado, you know what to do. The lady is in the house. The lovely, the classy, the wonderful.
Stay down there, girl. Stay down there.
Classic movie, everybody. Classic movie.
Why, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? Listen, Char. Today, the workout I did, right? So I today was abs and lower back, and their music was like, ugh. So I was like, okay, listen, y'all know techno music makes me upset. If you don't know that, where have you been every Wednesday night? Anyway, so I was like, I gotta listen to some new music, right? Instead, I'm gonna play my own music over here and still watch the instruction right from the internet. And which was the first song I played? Go down there, why didn't go down, girl? By the end of that, I felt like a superstar, right? I was like, stay down there, y'all, stay down there. I had kept my abs tight the whole time. I was like, it was so motivating, so motivating.
Hey, that's why they use music for exercise, because you'd be like, I got to do this. So they use music.
Oh, girl, I had Sierra Level Up. I had the big girl song with, what's her name, Lizzo? The one with the tempo song. Like, oh, slow songs, that's for skinny girls. Us big girls, we need tempo, right? So I'm like, I'm not that big, but I'm like, I'm trying to work off that right now, right? So I was like, yeah, I need tempo. I'm gonna get rid of this, fat, yeah, right? Like, I was so down. It was good.
Good deal. Well, you heard my intro. We gotta talk about revisit last week because we didn't really get a chance to talk about those alpha male points the listed guy had, and then what you introduced, you shared with me about this guy that got this woman pregnant on purpose. Yeah.
That's all. Because y'all, listen, there's a whole bunch of y'all out there who like to pretend that doesn't happen. So when women say, no, I told him to wear a condom, he put the condom on, I saw it happen. He wanted to get me pregnant. He slid that thing off when we were doing doggy stuff. You know what I mean? Y'all think it doesn't happen. It really, really happens. And I know more than one woman this has actually happened to. We always talk about how women trap men, right? But we don't understand, right? And I want to say we, I mean as a collective, that no, there are men out there trying to trap women. There's, oh, she'll be a good mom for my kids. All right. Oh, she doesn't want to have my kids. Oh, she might leave me for a better man who will treat her better. Oh, I know how I'll get her to stay. Look, it happens. So,
yep.
Damn.
That's right. So we'll get started because, like I said, we got 2 shows in one. So here we go.
All right.
I should have known Lonnie was bad
from
the start.
I love Robin, but a bunch of things in our relationship needs to change.
Lonnie's biggest problem is that he won't keep it in his pants.
But in reality, she's worse than me.
If Lonnie doesn't change, I am done.
If Robin wants this to work, she definitely needs to learn how to communicate better.
Robin Shears?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought Lonnie Hickenbottom.
Yes, Your Honor.
To court today. The 2 of you have been engaged for 1 year.
Yes.
Together several years, but you say due to cheating, lies, infidelity, you're ready to call it quits.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, give me some background, ma'am. I'll start with you.
He has lied. He has cheated. And being with him, sometimes it feels like he's like an extra child. I work 8 to 12 hour shifts. Then I have to come home, cook dinner, clean up the house, prepare the kids for school and drop them off and pick them up. And all he has to do is go to work and come home and get in the bed and go to sleep.
So you feel like he's not pulling his weight?
Not at all, Your Honor.
Mr. Hickenbottom, by the way, I love your last name.
Thank you.
What do you have to say about these allegations? It's pretty serious, sir.
I mean, she say what she want to say, but most of it's not true.
What?
Oh, most of it? Well, which part of it is true?
Days that I'm off, or on Saturday, I get up early and I take care of business. I clean up the house. It may not be to her standards. You know, if I clean up, it's not to how she wants it. She just overreacts. I'm just saying, like, she just wants everything to be her way. It's her way or the highway.
Okay. But you say you've had all of these issues in the relationship from the very beginning. You had a difficult start. What happened?
Okay, so we met outside of a nightclub, and our first date, he told me that he wasn't attracted to me, that I wasn't appeasing to him. So that was
not your
red
last
flag number one when we first met. So
that was your first date, and you're telling me that was not your last?
Unfortunately, it wasn't.
Well, why would you go out to again with somebody who told you that you were not appeasing to them?
He kept calling me. So, you know, I'm a female. I like to go out. I like free meals. So therefore, I went out. We went out on another date.
So him insulting you was worth a free meal?
No, it wasn't. But at that time, I was young, Your Honor. But now I know better. I know a whole lot better. I was 25 at the time. I was having fun.
Okay.
We dated for like a year and a half. Along that line, I get pregnant. So he told me halfway through my pregnancy, he got me pregnant on purpose, Your Honor.
The two of you had discussed having children?
No, we didn't discuss having kids. At this time, I'm living my life. I'm traveling. I'm enjoying time with my friends. I was in school. I didn't plan on having any kids at the time. But he wanted the child. And so therefore, he's like, oh, I got you pregnant on purpose. I see something in you that I didn't see in no one else. So it been rocky ever since the beginning of our relationship.
That's actually a big deal, because you're saying that you didn't want to have a child. You weren't ready at the time. Is that true, sir?
Yeah, it's true. It's very true.
Now, why would you do that? I have to ask you, because if you didn't find her appealing, why did you keep pursuing her? And then I want to follow up with the question about what happened with your child.
Well, let me rewind it back to the night when I met her. She was walking by. My friend said, "Look at her." I was like, "Okay." I looked at her and I said, "Okay." I saw something in her, but you know, I was tipsy, you know. So I called her and asked her to go on a date. So we went on a date. When I got there, I don't know if it was the light or if it was the alcohol from the previous night. She didn't look like I thought it was, like I thought she was. But she had a nice conversation. We had some vibe. We was vibing. We was laughing. And I was like, you know what? Let's give it a test run. So,
but did you tell her that you didn't find her very appealing?
I was joking around. I have a personality.
So you were joking.
I was joking around.
Okay. Well, did she tell you that you were no Idris Elba yourself?
She did. I know. Matter of fact, she didn't. She just kept on staring. So I figured she saw what she liked.
Okay. So what happened, sir?
Okay.
The two of you start dating.
Okay. We started dating. We started going out on many dates. And we hit it off. I mean, we was hitting it off. Like, we had a good time. Like, going out everywhere, eating everywhere. It was like me and her versus the world. You know, everybody envied us because her friends saying they wasn't seeing her as much. My friends said they wasn't seeing me as much. And I said, you know, I started falling for her. And then we started messing around. Feelings got involved.
So you decide to unilaterally on your own have a child with her?
Yeah, I figured I can take care of her.
So you did not have a discussion. You just decided to.
I took everything in my own hands.
Took everything in your own hands. And at that time, when she was 25 in school, and you told her after she got pregnant that you did it on purpose.
Yes.
Without having a discussion with her. Do you think that was the right thing to do? Think that was fair?
Honestly, no, I didn't. I didn't think it was fair. But at the time, I was young. I wasn't really thinking about it.
You were 30 years old. You're not that young.
Well, I figured that's young to me. You know, but I still thought, basically, I just said, hey, she has what I want. I'm knocking her up, and I'll take care of everything at the end. I'll take care of the rest.
So when you find out that he did this is all a part of his plan, this was all a part of the master plan, what happens?
I stayed with him. We stayed together. You know, I forgave him for that. So at this time, and during that time, he got me pregnant on purpose. We sitting at home watching TV. I had his phone in my hand going through Instagram. And some female decided to send him some half-naked pictures, Your Honor.
What was his response to her sending the photos? That's the more important
question. I can't control what they send. I don't talk to her like that. Like, how'd she get your number?
Who sent you the photos?
It was a random friend.
A random. Okay, either she's random or she's a friend, but you got to pick one. It can't be both.
She was a friend.
What kind of friends do you have that just send you on their own naked pictures of them?
A lot.
Friend.
Really? You have a lot of friends like that?
Well, not anymore.
So did you put a stop to this, sir?
Yes.
Okay, great. You told me about everything that he was doing. So you say you cheated. It was only one time. I understand that. Why are the two of you even staying together if you're both going back and forth cheating on one another? You brought him to court today because you said that you've had a number of issues that have continued besides what started in the beginning.
He had this good friend that she was a female. We talking about he just have all these good kind of friends. So they were good friends before me and him was ever in a relationship. I found out that they were messing. They've been messing around. The lady been to my house.
Is that true, Mr. Hickenbottom?
Very true.
Well, I thought you said after the naked photos, all of that stopped.
It did for a while.
So this person was not just a friend, apparently.
Actually, she started off as a friend, and basically she was going through things with her marriage.
Of course, she was going through some things in her marriage, and it involved you, apparently. I thought you had a master plan. Was this wasn't a part of the master plan? I'm assuming it wasn't.
That was the past.
That was what?
That was in the past.
So the master plan only lasted a few months?
Well, with that one, with that particular chick.
Well, how many were there, sir?
To be honest, it's been a lot of females. I mean, I was how you say it?
So
a swinger. I was a swinger. You know, I was out having a good time. I was out partying. I'm, going traveling all over the world.
Did Miss Shears know this?
At the time, she knew some of it, but not. I kept it wrapped, so she didn't know too much of it, but she knew a little.
Sounds like she didn't know much of any of it.
True. I kept it sheltered.
Well, I don't have to press here very, very, very far.
Your Honor, and speaking of this, I had his phone in my hand and messages just popping up. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? And he's like, oh, it's just the group for, me and my friends made up. So we've been together this like 5 years. Mm-hmm. Why are you sending sending nude pictures of your private, people sending pictures of you and then going party buses, clubs. So one day somebody's gonna send me a message on my social media and tell me, oh, you should pop up and see what he really be doing at these nightclubs. You know me, I'm naive. I'm at home. I'm pregnant. So at this time, and I had a difficult pregnancy at this time. Mm-hmm. It was hard. So I was bedridden most of the time. And he out here doing this. Mm-hmm. You out here doing all of this stuff and you got me pregnant on purpose. You have me in a situation that I don't even want to be in, Your Honor. Mm-hmm. And he's doing all of this.
Was she ever a participant in the swinging?
No, she wasn't.
Okay, so that's not swinging. You just out cheating.
True.
You're not swinging nowhere.
True. First of all, you guilty too a lot.
Of what?
You've done a lot of dirt yourself.
Mr. Hickenbottom, I've heard a lot from Miss Shears, and I've heard about your master plan that doesn't sound very masterful. What do you say she was doing?
Cheating.
How? Tell me.
She went to Vegas with a dude. Everybody knows you go to Vegas, something's going down. And she went with a dude.
You went with a guy to Vegas?
Your Honor, I cheated on him one time. I only cheated on him because he wasn't giving me attention. He wasn't taking me on dates. He wasn't doing any of that. So therefore I went out and I didn't went out. I been knew the guy. So I started dating this guy that was doing everything that he was not doing for me, Your Honor.
So let me ask you something, because you've told me about everything that he was doing. So you say you cheated. It was only one time. I understand that. Why are the two of you even staying together if you're both going back and forth cheating on one another and you're not happy in the relationship? Because you say your needs aren't getting met. That's why you're cheating. He said he's swinging. It's a part of his lifestyle. So why stay in the relationship?
Excellent question.
Or I went out and...
Oops, I didn't mean the volume part. I want to leave a picture of them as a couple up. Welcome to the panel, everyone. And I'm not certain what time that Brother Bay has, but I'm going to let him speak first. And let me unmute him because he was driving the car muted. All right. You're unmuted. Greetings.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Wow, long time no see. What's up?
Yeah, you caught me on a quote unquote off day where I
Oh.
got time.
Oh, okay. Welcome.
No, but okay, so based on the video that you just played, let's really delve into that real quick.
Yeah,
Because
that's what we're talking about.
because I want y'all to understand that we as men and women, we think differently. We see things from two different points of view. All right.
Okay.
From what I'm hearing from that story, which is you saw me, I'm sitting up here laughing at this whole situation as they tell their story about how they met and all of this stuff. Because from his point of view, the way he was talking and the way men think, he didn't find her attractive when he was sober and in the daylight. All right. But she was convenient for his sexual needs.
Okay.
All right. And as he said, she had a good personality and whatnot. She was cool. We was going on dates, which tells me that he knew that he was dealing with a desperate woman that he could at least hold her hand in the mall and not get ridiculed for. And she was blowing his socks off. All right. She was taking care of business in the bedroom. So he stuck around. Now, the biggest thing that I want to know is that who moved into whose house? Because I didn't hear that part. I may have missed it when I went in the store. So, oh, sorry, I ain't got no light. So what I want to know is who moved into whose house? Who was living with who?
Let me see, make sure I don't have a wrong story because I got two stories in my head. Let me think. Can't answer that question.
Right. Okay. But the way that everything was being said, it sounded like he moved into her house. So she was a matter of convenience that he knew that he could do all of his dirt with and still go out and play and have his fun. Now, he was already messing around with other girls throughout the whole relationship. Her acting like she's surprised and stunned and all of this stuff, but yet he's still there. Come on now. He knew that he got him a sucker. Just the simple fact that y'all on TV lets me know that whoever is the plaintiff is the sucker. So who was the plaintiff in that situation?
She was.
She's the
sucker. She's the sucker. She's the mark. She's the target. She's trying to hold on and make something. She was trying to hold on and make something happen with some guy that she met in the club. Okay, who saw her as a convenience. Because look, we all judge each other on looks. Some of y'all don't even think I'm cute. Let's be honest. We judge each other. That was her best option. That guy right there. That was her best option, her best chance at trying to have a relationship because he stuck around. And she kind of knew. Y'all know when a guy is using you. Y'all know when a guy ain't for real with you. It don't matter what sweet words he's saying. It's all about the actions. Y'all know when 2 + 2 don't mean 4.
Okay, so I'll ask you this and then we'll hear from some other people. You said in the chat room that it wasn't true that he got her pregnant on purpose, even though he said that.
Even though he said it.
What's your opinion about that?
I'm glad you asked me that because you know what? This is not right now. This is not an argument, and none of y'all can sit here and argue with me about this whole statement. You are the first, middle, and last protector of your womb. Nobody else. It ain't nobody else's responsibility to protect your body, your womb.
So did he give I mean,
That's the whole thing.
He said with his lips,
Okay.
I got her pregnant on purpose.
Thank you.
So I don't
That's
know if he
because
stuck
he's
a hole in the
stupid
term.
enough to believe
okay.
that lie.
No.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Yes.
No.
And I'm gonna say it to you like this. I'm gonna say it to you like this. As a woman, if you don't want to have a baby, if you don't want to get pregnant, you ain't gonna get pregnant.
Stop
Y'all got a gazillion forms of birth control.
Stop it.
No,
It
hold on
doesn't
now.
Tell
matter.
me that lie.
So
I don't want to hear it.
So
I do
just
not
because
want to hear
there's
it.
a
It's
lot
a
of
lie.
forms of birth control for women, women are the key to not having a baby.
Hello? Is this thing on?
This man.
Is there a child born in this world without a woman's consent that's not tied
Is
down?
there a
in
child
some
born
bed
without a
for-
man who
and-
did not stick his penis in that woman?
Hold on,
Excuse
wait
me.
now.
Excuse me. We are living in the 21st century.
We
Is there a
definitely
baby
are.
born in this
We
world without
definitely
a
are.
woman's consent? Yes or no?
Wait. Actually, hold on. Wait, I have a good answer for that. And in fact, I don't know if you keep up. Well, actually, I know you keep up with the times and the actual news and whatnot. So then you do know that very recently, actually, they've now made it illegal for you to have an abortion past the 6-week mark of pregnancy, when the average woman doesn't find out she's pregnant until after the 6-week mark. So actually, there's going to be all kinds of babies. There's going to be all kinds of babies that are born without women's consent because they can't afford to travel out of state to get an abortion. Now, with that being said, though, because I just wanted to point that out. And actually, hold on. I'm not done. Just give me a moment, right? We heard you out. Second issue is that the same people who have been fighting and got that passed have been fighting against abortion clinics all over, especially that Bible Belt area. And although abortion's completely legal, they've literally either scared or bullied or legislated things to that, so much so that there are literally no abortion clinics, or there's only one, and a doctor has to fly in from out of state because no doctor who actually lives in this state is willing to actually do them, not because of their own beliefs, but literally because of threats, because doctors have been murdered, so on and so forth. So there actually is a secondary issue there as far as when people get pregnant, what are their options, and they're still fighting ardently in essence to basically do an end run around your constitution to make sure that they can prevent women from doing that very thing. So that's my point one. But point number two is this, okay? Now, for all of the zillion... Wait. You said a lot of things. So let me just respond to a couple of things, okay? Yeah. The second thing that I wanted to say is this. Now, you're right. Men and women do look at things and think about things entirely differently. Now, what I will say is this. It sounds to me like, first of all, this pregnancy, regardless of how we want to argue it happened very early on in the relationship. And he spotted the kind of woman who was loyal and wanted to build a family with somebody and will stick by you, ride or die, whatever. He spotted that kind of woman and said, okay, her. Right? Because she's got good quality, she got good morals, and you know what? Yeah, she will put up with all of my bullshit, right? Now, we're talking about the question of whether he could get her pregnant without her consent. Of course you can, right? Because for all of the millions of kinds of birth control, there actually aren't millions of kinds of birth control. There's either hormonal birth control or barrier birth control. There's only two. So if hormonal birth control is not an option for you because of its side effects, which is exactly the reason why men refuse to take the male birth control pill, because of the side effects, then your only options are barrier options. Now, if you're using barrier options with your significant other, who you live with, who you love, who you're supposed to be able to trust, you should be able to trust that if y'all are in missionary right now, you know the condom's on, and he says, okay, turn around, baby, I want to do doggy style now. You should be able to trust he's not going to rip the condom off behind your back so he can come inside of you and get you pregnant. You should be able to trust that no matter how much other ain't shitness there is, right? Okay, I'm done now.
All right. Well, he has dropped off the panel. He'll be back as soon as he can. And now we'll go ahead and let the Reverend speak.
No, I had to disagree with him. Well, salute to the congregation, everybody on the panel, Sean, everybody.
Reverend Pimp Greasy.
How y'all doing?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Now, I like to just bring this before the church and the congregation, everybody here. Yes, men do get women pregnant without their consent because God got married. pregnant without her consent.
Thank you.
That if we are the sons and the children of God, then who am I not to get a woman pregnant without consent? Now, the only reason in the last 60 years, or the last 20 or 30 years, that this has been an issue or a problem is because of child support. Because men were getting women pregnant without their consent a long time. They just wasn't being held accountable. Now, I'm for make derelicts great again. Let's get rid of child support and bring that back. Now, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? What I like to say is this. Now, I'm listening to this story. Now, we know this is good for TV. You got to sensationalize stories in television so people will get interested in it, right?
Okay. Yes.
This is what I got to push back on. The man up here, the brother that was up here is right. Ain't no man in their right mind gonna sit up there on national television and openly admit to a woman he ain't married to that he got her pregnant on purpose.
So you're saying that he just lied to say that, and they both went along with the lie?
No. He said it, but he's not going to do it in front of everybody. Now, we as brethren will say something, right? And anytime that a man says, I want to marry you, he trying to get you pregnant on purpose.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what marriage is. Like, you don't get married. Like, just I love you. Yes, I love you. And we supposed to have some chilling. And if we had the chillings, then guess my legacy. Because if I see little people walking around that look like me, think about it. Think about this. What happens when a man gets married? What is the number one cause for a man to divorce a woman? If them children he find out ain't his.
Can't blame him.
If she cheat on him with another man, right? That's the cause of divorce or gunshots and butt cheeks.
Gunshots.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm basically saying here is that men do get women pregnant on purpose, right? Just like women sometimes get pregnant on purpose for whatever their reasons are, right? He said it, but he ain't gonna say it publicly. Right now, we as men, we just say, "Hey, man, ooh, she look good, boy. She's so fine. I want to have my kid." We'll say that between each other, but it's a joke in passing to say how good the woman looks. Now, what we're talking about is genes. We don't know what this woman's like. We don't know if she got Tourette's. We don't know if this woman gonna break out windows. We don't know. This woman could be a mass killer. But we only talking about looks. We looking at this woman, it's sundress season, hot girl summer, and we want to be in there. Right? and what that means is she is so good that I'm not pulling out. I'm going to take that risk, right? But at the same time, we as men, you know, sometimes we slip up. Sometimes we know what we going to do, right? We do it, but we ain't gonna openly get up on TV and admit that shit. That's just, I'm sorry, please. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Boom shakalaka, St. Kevin, by his stripes, we shall not place child support. I'm sorry about that. But that's not gonna happen. Now, I'm glad we're getting some insight. Not saying that this is not true, but we're not openly gonna admit to it.
But now hold on, Pimp Greasy, because I have a question. Because here's the thing, right? This is not, if there's no question of the child's paternity or anything like this. Like, I mean, it sounds like this kid's about like 8-9 years old. So this is something he admitted to like a decade ago behind closed doors. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's something that he's just admitting to right now. He's being questioned for the first time. This is like an established fact amongst friends, family. Everybody already knows. Everyone already knows him, knows that this is how it went down. Right? So like, isn't that a little bit different than, you know what I mean? A woman suddenly shows up at court and then makes the accusation. Now you're going to admit it for the first time. You know what I mean?
What she's doing is, right? And this is where we talk about this, right? She is in front of a female judge, right? And she is going, you know, because there's a code. There's the sisterhood code, right? And then there's the male code. There's the brotherhood code. So she's going to say he ruined my life by admitting to me that he got me pregnant on purpose. Now, you see, the problem with this is that she's a 9-year fiance. Right? Right?
Yeah.
See, that's the problem with this, right? Because he got me pregnant on purpose and he didn't marry me. See, think about it. If I marry you, I'm getting you pregnant on purpose. If I'm getting you pregnant, because look, If I marry a woman and I say, hey, would you like to be Mrs. Reverend Dr. Bishop Archdiocese Pimp Grizzy of the church, or what about these black women? And she says yes, right? If she says yes, then I'm telling the world, because you don't, when you see people that are married and they don't have kids, you don't look at the man, you look at the woman crazy. Because you automatically thinking that she ain't getting pregnant because he trying to get her pregnant on purpose. Right? If you with somebody and y'all been together this long and she ain't got a ring on, but you see all these children running around, then that mean, no, it ain't him, it's her. She's just spitting out these kids because she's trying to lock him down to get married, but he ain't doing it. What's wrong with her? What's wrong with them? Right? That's people thinking. That's people thinking, so she's trying to jog that from the judge to be on her side, because why are you bringing something up that you already forgave 9 years ago? You got a whole kid running around. You're about to be in middle school. It's spilled milk, the milk spoiled, thrown out in the garbage in the size project. You ain't even breastfeeding no more.
I definitely give you that, Reverend, and thank you so much for that, because I can't speak from the male perspective. I just know if, and I was going to say that as far as the risk, that was going to be something that I was going to talk about, because I can only say that I do know men will, after a while, even though you're not planning to have a child, they're going to not want to put that condom on, slip it off, all of that. So, thank you so much for your perspective. Now, Brother Bay is back. Go ahead and sum up, and then Sylvanda can go ahead and give you the pushback, and we'll be quiet.
I wanted to hear her point, her second point.
Oh, you didn't hear it? Okay.
Right. Because when I pulled up to my house, my internet connected, but it's always in the driveway. So I wanted to hear your second point.
Okay. What was my
Let's
second
see.
point?
What was the second point?
Damn it.
Roll back that tape.
Say it again. Hold on.
That's what I would have to do.
I know I brought up the abortion thing first. Oh, okay.
That was okay. Got it.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Sure.
No. Okay, answer the first one. Answer the first one and let me think about it, because I don't remember.
No, you brought up the point about the abortion.
I'm going to answer your. I'm going to respond to your first point about the abortion laws.
Okay.
And hopefully I can do this without interruption. Because
absolutely,
this is a teaching moment. Those abortion laws that you're talking about didn't come around to the past 2 or 3 years. Before then, okay, women were using abortion as a form of birth control because they were out here being all willy-nilly. They're like, oops, I'm pregnant. Well, I could just get an abortion. Now, I'm not saying all women thought like that, but way too many did. That's why Planned Parenthood was so abundant. At any rate, with the declining birth rates that's been going on for the past 3 years, really before then, I would say actually the past 5 years, that's when you had the abortion laws where they started getting tough with them. The government, and BGS was talking about this today, and he and I have talked about this several times over the past couple of years, that you have declining birth rates all over the globe. This, especially before the pandemic, this is a political move. This whole abortion laws things is a political move. It has nothing to do with a social cue. It's a political thing. Do you understand what I'm saying here?
Okay, now I'm just gonna.
I'm not finished. I just
you're not finished. Okay, go ahead.
What I was talking about to see if you were up with the times as far as this whole abortion rights thing going on right now.
Well, I'm going to correct you on that, because you're not. You're actually incorrect on the fact that it's only lasted the last 2-3 years. But continue.
Oh yeah, when did Georgia pass their abortion law?
It's not about when they passed the law that they just passed now, right? It's about how many times they've gone up against.
It's a side opinion. I asked you, when did Georgia pass its abortion law?
But me refuting you has nothing to do with that, right? And that's what I'm trying to say.
Because Georgia was the battleground for all of this. Because
Okay.
I remember, oh my God, the outpouring. I mean, I literally, in my Facebook group when that happened, some girl crying about Georgia banning abortions, making it illegal to get an abortion. And I'm like, why are you crying?
Okay, so what I was gonna say, and again, because I think it's important for people to understand that even when something's not in your face in the news, or a groundbreaking decision actually is made that basically circumvents the Constitution, it doesn't mean that they haven't gone up against the Supreme Court multiple times for multiple states doing their best to try to pass these all-encompassing laws that will basically make it impossible. But in the meantime, what they've done, again, mostly in the Bible Belt states, but what they've done in the meantime, since they can't pass legislation like that, since they can't literally outlaw it, is they just do things, they do end runs around the Constitution that make it impossible for you to get an abortion anyway.
Why did they make it impossible for you to get an abortion? Why were they fighting against abortion rights?
They've been fighting against abortion rights since Roe v. Wade was first passed. Literally.
And why is that?
Because it's against God.
Why is that?
Why is it against
What's the
God?
underlying issue?
I have no idea what the underlying, the actual issue is. Yeah, no.
So you're sitting up here vehemently talking about abortion rights, but you don't know the underlying reason why.
Well, see, the evangelicals don't. See, here's the issue, right? So why do the evangelicals honestly give a shit suddenly? I don't know, right? But why does it matter that the evangelicals give a shit? Because they were a new group, in essence, that really wasn't voting, and they were going to be able to give political power to the conservatives, which is why all of a sudden the conservatives, namely, who was it at the time that just got elected at that time? I can't remember, but prior to him being elected, he was actually pro-abortion, and then after him being elected, he was suddenly like, oh my God, abortion is the devil. So obviously, yeah, obviously politics are behind things. However, and this is why I said, so what's the underlying, why do evangelicals honestly care? I don't know, because I'm not really a religious person. However, what I'm trying to say about that is, since they've been doing this, it has been affecting women's constitutional right to things like abortion, to things like just care in general, right? Because people think Planned Parenthood was just all about abortion, even though Planned Parenthood was also about access to things like, I don't know, birth control. Actually, that's where the majority of people were getting birth control from. So if you shut down Planned Parenthood, guess what? You shut down the access to millions and millions of women's access to birth control, and access to that that knowledge, access to those checkups, access to prenatal care and resources on where to go from there, right? So I mean, the thing is, right, and I'm not disagreeing with you about the birth rate dropping, and I mean the birth rate's been dropping again for longer than the last 3 years. It's been a major concern, especially within certain populations where their birth rate is dropping significantly more, and they're very scared of becoming the minority.
Right, but we're talking about the United States mainly.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm talking about the United States.
Let me come in here. Let me explain something to you. I'm gonna make this very simple. You're both right, but this is where the thing is going off the rails, right? It's a political issue. Who drives policy? People. How is a country built? Off of people. You need a workforce, right? And the woman spits out the workforce, right? But the men make the policy in which women will be incentivized to do what? Get pregnant on purpose, right? Men try to get women pregnant on purpose for a reason. Now, here's the reason. I'm a reverend, right? Guess what? I'm losing a lot of money. I got these old women in these SSI checks getting cut back. Social Security gonna be gone in 10 years. I'm still young. So guess what? You out there with the ability to say, you know what? This dude ain't nothing. He got me pregnant on purpose or by accident because he just didn't want to pull out because it was so good. But I gotta go to work because he ain't gonna be around because he ain't got a job. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sashay my lily white behind down here to Planned Parenthood because I know it costs a lot for me to take care of a child by myself because men ain't marrying me right now, right? And the reason why I said Lily White, because they the ones that are most affected. They didn't care about black people. This ain't got shit to do with black people, even though we're affected on the back end. This is when white women are the ones that use Planned Parenthood the most. Now, I'm not here trying to tell you this, so this is what it is, right? Now, I'm going to tell you this right here. I'm on the other side of the world. You know what I mean? I'm a traveling evangelist. You know what I'm saying? Actually, go ahead and hit the Cash App because I need that Creflo Dollar jet. I need that $54 million jet so I can get all my hoes. I mean, my saints and my parishioners in the jet with me. You know what I'm saying? We got a stripper pole. I mean, we got a praising pole in the middle of the jet. I see this. I got this. God sent me a vision. God sent me a vision. But anyway, like I'm gonna get back to it. So what happened is on the other side of the world, why are they having an issue? Well, they're having an issue like in Asia because men ain't getting married. Men ain't getting married not because they don't incentivize marriage. They really do. It's just that they work too goddamn much. They're working 6 days a week. They don't have nothing to do with their family. They're just pushing out kids for the fodder. So men are not getting married. If men don't get married, then if women are already known that I'm not having no baby without no man in a patriarchal society, then guess what? They ain't having no babies. So now they got to cut back on work. So each problem in each section, America is women have too much rights, so that's what they call it, abortion rights. In Asia, women ain't got enough rights. So what's the problem? It's not incentivized for you to be married and have kids because it comes down to policy and economics.
Lady Vonda, have you spoken? I've been gone for 3 minutes. I haven't heard your voice yet, young lady. Where are you?
I have been listening because this is very interesting. It is very, very interesting.
I would like to finish my point.
Okay.
If that's okay, because her and I were having a discussion.
Okay, because I like to move on. If we're just going to talk politics about that, we got a whole video.
Go right ahead and finish your point.
My thing is, if we're going to talk about this, I feel we need to get to the root cause because, I mean, right now, we're just talking about surface dirt, but we need to get to the root cause of the whole issue. When Margaret Sanger,
Lord.
Margaret Sanger?
When she did it, what was her whole purpose? What was her purpose of abortion rights and Planned Parenthood? What was it? Do you remember?
What do they say her purpose was? Or what was
her actual purpose?
Well, they say, in essence, that her purpose was eugenics, even though Planned Parenthood was invented about 70 years before they started doing abortions. So there's that.
Right. So when they started doing abortions, what was her purpose? You say eugenics.
No, you said why they started, but I just don't understand how she could have started a service.
I'm talking about Margaret Sanger. Now, abortion is, of course, included into Planned Parenthood. It's a part.
Not for the first 70 years.
Let's not play semantics here, but you do understand that her targeted demographic was not white women. Okay, her targeted demographic was majority black women, and then all the other women of color that fall up under that umbrella. The problem, it became a problem when white women started getting abortions in record numbers. That's when suddenly it became a fight, okay, to stop abortion. Now, nobody is stopping women from getting birth control at all, but they are trying to stop particularly abortion because of the low birth rates that are going on. Let's talk about this country here. That's going on with white women. Their birth rates are lower than ours. So yes, they're outlawing it. But the whole purpose, what I'm trying to say here, bottom line, is that it wouldn't even be an issue if, and I say again, you're the first, middle, and last line of defense of your own womb.
Okay.
I remember my second point. Can I make my second point?
No, I'm not done.
Okay, you all got about 3 minutes among the two of you, however you're going to deal with that, because I'm not having just politics on the show. We're talking
I was going to say.
a couple before us.
I'm now jumping into the common sense section.
Okay.
Now, we all know that raw sex is the bee's knees. It's the greatest thing on earth. We know that. But, and of course, I've engaged, but I don't have any children because I'm smart enough not to engage in such an action with a woman that's not on birth control. I've never done that with a woman that I didn't confirm that was on birth control. And if like one night stands and everything, I always had the Jimmy. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about your own personal protection, your own personal health, your own personal sanity, your own personal safety. So if you're running out here unprotected, I understand that mistakes happen. Not birth control isn't 100%. I get that. I get that. But if you're literally out here as a woman, completely unprotected, engaging in sexual activity with men, whether you know them or not, particularly raw sex, you can't sit up here and say, he got me pregnant, as if, and you do understand when y'all say that to us that have a brain as men, you're pretty much saying to us that we held you down and forced you to get pregnant. That's what it sounds like to us.
Okay, so can I, because that actually totally addressed my second point. Thank you for reminding me. My second point was simply this, that as a woman, if I'm dating someone, if I'm in a relationship with someone, right? Because you said there's millions of types of birth control. There aren't. There are two types of birth control. There's hormonal birth control or barrier birth control. The end. Hormonal birth control, if it affects you badly, one version, then in general, any version of hormonal birth control is going to affect you badly, which means you're really kind of limited to barrier birth control or abstinence. But with that being said, if I have a boyfriend, which she had at the time, and that boyfriend and I are saying, okay, we're going to have sex, obviously, wear a condom and whatnot, and he agrees to that, and we're in missionary, and he's got the condom on, right? And then he goes, baby, turn around, let's do doggy style. I should be able to trust that condom stays on. I should be able to trust he doesn't slip that condom off and stick it into me raw, A, because he wants to feel it raw, or second, because you know what, he really wants to shoot some up inside of me because he really wants to get me pregnant, which is the case that actually happened here. Whereas this was not some random, this was not just, oh, well, raw sex feels good or feels better for us, because honestly, it doesn't make as much of a difference to us. That's a man's argument. It's not really a woman's argument. This was an issue where he went out of his way to get her pregnant on purpose, which means he came inside of her and he probably took the condom off, because again, for you to admit that, for you to say, yeah, no, I did do that, and obviously she's not saying we got pregnant on purpose or we weren't being careful. No, this is an action he did, which means most likely, because this is normally how it happens, is they slip the condom off and stick it back inside of you and come inside of you. Okay, I should be able to trust that when I'm in doggy style, he keeps the condom on. I should be able to do that, especially with my boyfriend, which is what this was for her at the time, her boyfriend. So when you say, yes, the baby wouldn't have been born without her consent, but is it possible that a man can get a woman pregnant without her consent? Absolutely. Because
That's
again, there is a level of trust within sex and between people going on. Just like when a man trusts a woman's on the pill, and really thinks she's on the pill, but she's lying, or she stops taking the pill because why? Exactly. She wants to get pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. And that, you know what? First and foremost, you sitting up here trying to tell me that one of the most the most sensitive organ in your body, you can't tell the difference between whether a condom is on or off in the middle of.
I can't tell between a vibrator and a dick. I'm gonna be all the way 100.
You're trying to tell me
one at a time. There's three ladies. Wait a minute. We'll answer that question. There's three ladies. I'll go first. There has been time I did not know. I stepped on the damn condom on the way to the washroom. I looked down. I looked at him. He looked at me. I asked him. It's been 3 years. I still haven't got an answer why he took it off. So yes, it does happen. Vonda, go ahead. Your turn, Vonda.
Okay.
Every single time.
That's one time.
Wait a minute.
That's one.
Wait.
Vonda, I'll mute
my
you.
turn.
Go ahead, muting. Go ahead, Vonda. I'll mute you now. Watch it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Vonda.
You're absolutely correct, Char. Just because there's not going to be a man in any of this chat on any YouTube that's going to sit up here and tell me that a vagina can tell whether there's a condom on or whether the condom is not on if you do not have a said vagina. Okay?
But she just said it happened to her one time, but it didn't happen anymore.
Wait a minute.
You don't know that that
I didn't go into any of the details. It happened more than once.
Thank you.
I just said that one particular time. Go ahead.
And my thing is believe the testimony. Believe the testimony from the women that you're giving that's giving it. You know, nobody's coming up here to make up facts just to make a point correct in their favor. The simple fact of the matter is, sometimes you can tell there's a condom, sometimes you cannot. So don't sit up there. If you don't have a vagina, don't sit up there and say a woman should be able to know if a penis has a condom on it or not. You don't have a vagina. You cannot speak for that.
Nope. And I'll say
that's my only point. I can't speak about a man's penis and what it feels and that it feels better without a rubber. I can't speak to that.
Nope. Because remember this. I want you to think about something that men don't think about. When a man is wearing a condom, he's covering up. He's putting a thin layer between like his penis and the thing that's going to be rubbing on all of his nerve endings. Whereas we don't have that thin layer. We literally are having the exact same sensation of something inside of us pushing all the right buttons, hitting all the right spots, going at all the right angles and whatever, regardless of really, in essence, what that thing is made of. Be it a vibrator stiffer, so maybe you can tell how hard that is. Fingers, a penis. In general, especially if you're very wet, no, you can't. Normally, women can tell when they're really dry because then there's just a difference between skin friction versus this plasticky friction. However, I'll tell you this, with the exception of people that I know, like myself, who are actually allergic to latex, I've never heard a woman say, yeah, no, I literally felt this huge difference. I felt a difference because as soon as a latex condom went inside of me, my whole vagina started swelling and it was very painful. Right. Yeah, right? But if I used a non-latex condom, no, absolutely not. I really could not tell the difference.
I want to just cut in here real quick, if y'all don't mind, the Reverend. Did you know the first chapter of child support verse single mamas that it is against the religion of God? You know, it's the religion of God for you to use condoms.
I have a question for you.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it's against the religion of God for you to use a condom. God did not use a condom when he was bringing Jesus into the world with the Honorable Mary, the first single mother of the church. Or what about these single moms?
True. You know but God did give out abortions, though. God did give out abortions.
Yes, he did. So, put that blood on the dog.
All right.
Put that blood on the dog.
All right.
Yeah. There's so many different things. What else is going on with this? Now, I will point out
there's some untruths going on in here.
Not when I'm thinking about my vagina. There is no untruth.
Right.
My vagina. Can't no man on this panel tell me.
Did you call my vagina?
And what if
did you call my vagina? Because it's sort of you calling my vagina. You can't confirm or deny what I said about mine.
I'm gonna say this right now, and it's funny because I can't believe that a 19-year-old girl actually is more honest than grown women. I just called her and asked her, hey, can you tell the difference between...
That's her vagina.
That's her vagina.
That's hers. No.
I'm talking. I'm talking.
Wow.
I'm talking.
So all men's penises feel the same thing?
I just asked her if she can tell the difference between raw sex, condom sex, and if a condom falls off during sex. And she said, yes, we as men can feel the same thing because the sensation becomes completely different.
How
completely different. So you're trying to tell me. Wait. Let me finish. So
you don't have penis.
You're trying to tell me that you as women don't feel that, but us as men who walk around with our genitals on the outside of our body,
oh my God,
scraping up against our underwear, getting chafed.
Okay, let me talk to Brother Bay because Brother Bay, it's going to be just you and I.
Am I
Just
really
you and
supposed
I.
to believe that?
We're gonna have
Ain't
this
no man on this
conversation.
channel gonna tell me about my vagina.
You know what?
We're
I
gonna
gotta
have
say
this
one thing, because you
conversation.
know
It
what?
ain't no
I've
man
tried.
on this
Hold on,
planet
hold on,
gonna
hold on,
tell
hold
you
on.
that you can't feel
Wait,
the
I have
difference
something to
between
add. I got
men.
something to add.
That's
Listen,
a
I have
lie.
used.
It's
I
a
don't
I
have
have
to
used.
mute
I have
Her
used.
anybody.
testimony. You
I
Wait,
can't
wait, wait,
will
wait, wait.
mute.
testify from my
I will
vagina.
remove
I
everybody.
100% do not
I
believe you.
will mute and remove everyone.
Oh, I knew this was gonna be good.
Can I say one thing, Char,
No,
please?
not yet. You can
Okay.
go right after me, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Brother Bay,
Go
at the
ahead. Hit me
time that
with the
I
sticky
mentioned to
buggers.
you, well, one, I have no reason to lie. If you don't want to accept what I have to say, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But I'm going to give you what happened. It's a joke. I have a joke among a couple of friends. I was 50 years old, 50. This was 3 years ago. I'm 53 now. I got out to bed to go to the washroom, and there my foot stepped on a condom. I looked down at it. I looked up at him. I don't have a 19-year-old vagina. I don't know what a 19-year-old feel like. I couldn't tell you that. So you cannot compare the 19 to the 50-year-old. I'm sorry, you just can't do it.
You know
A lot
what?
of
That's a
folks say
fair
that.
point. You're right. You can't
And
compare
wait a
because it
minute.
doesn't have to
Number
do with you.
2, and I'm
So
almost done.
I will take
Let
that
her
back.
Number
I will
finish.
2,
take that
Let
back.
her
Let her
finish.
I
finish.
did
I will
not
take that back.
know at that particular time. I
Mhm.
did not know. Okay? That's it. You cannot, I don't care what equation you come up with. You can rewind it back, put a microscope. I did not know.
Can I
So
I
the
say?
just
joke
said
I
I
Wait,
take
wait.
have
it back.
among
No,
my
I'm next,
friends,
I
Vonda.
just said I
the
I'm
take it
joke
next.
back.
that I have
I just
among
said I
my
take it back.
friends is
But this
I
is
did
but this
not
is
want to be a
ridiculous.
Janet Jackson because I did not have Janet Jackson money
Yep.
because that'd have been a high risk pregnancy.
Hmm.
Well,
Okay,
I just said I took
Okay.
it back
that's
because
fine. That's for
sometimes I
you,
forget I'm talking to
and
people
that's
who are my
fine.
age who have had
That
babies.
is all right. Now you know,
That doesn't even matter
and that's
Wait.
fine.
either.
No, I
That
never had a
doesn't matter
baby.
Baby
either.
doesn't
Hold
a
on.
baby age, none of that matters.
No, wait. I have something else to say now, because here's the thing.
You were next. Okay.
I've actually tried a female condom. And that is to say, it's the condom that literally goes inside the vagina. Then you fill that with like lube and whatever. And then like normally like lesbians will use that for like, vibrator play and whatnot. But I just was so fascinated it existed, right? And I went to one of those passion parties and I got it, right? And I was like, okay, let's try it, right? Because it was non-latex. And I was like excited to try just because it was non-latex. And we got the lube and we did the whole nine. And then that was the moment. I was 22 years old. That was the moment I understood when men said it really made a difference. Because for me, it didn't, right? But suddenly, when I was using the female condom, this thing that was inserted inside of me that was staying still against all of my sense organs, and then he's inside, and like, so he's nowhere near touching me. That feels very different than like a whole thing, regardless of what it's covered in, going in and out of you and moving. So your sense organs are all completely exposed, right? All of your nerves are completely exposed and getting rubbed in and out with like nothing between the rubbing and you, right? Whereas when I was wearing the female condom, I felt a big difference, right? Because now there's something that's sitting still inside of me and is like a barrier between me and him. So it's for some reason it works like that. And that's why when women say, now some women, maybe they're younger, maybe they have shallower vaginas, maybe they have a few more nerves, maybe like it's, but we don't know, right? But the
No.
point is, hold on. But the point is, right, is that no two vaginas are the same. No two people's skin are the same. No two people's level of lubrication. My lubrication from day to day might be different. And that's my own vagina. So what I'm saying is, right, when we say, and lubrication does make a difference as far as what you can and can't feel and how it feels to you. So, there's a whole bunch of stuff men can't even conceive of when it comes to what we feel during intercourse or during, sexual whatever. Just like we can't really conceive of what y'all feel. So, for you to call us disingenuous or liars or less honest or whatever, because we're being honest about our own personal experience
Thank
with
you.
this
You want me to tell you why I said that?
No,
really
let her
wrong.
finish.
No.
You want me to
You've
tell you why I
spoken
said
out.
that?
Let her
No.
finish.
No, we don't want to know.
You
We're gonna move on.
Let everybody else
move
get a
on.
talk.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think it's incredibly wrong for you to do that because all of the ladies up here, we have absolutely no reason to lie. I'm a married woman. I have no reason to lie. I'm not fronting. I'm actually here so that way we can get a better picture and understanding of one another, understand each other's experiences better without putting and clouding it with our own preconceived biases when we come to the table. That's what we come here to do. So, I find it low-key insulting, but at the end of the day, like, just understand that none of us are up here to front, because why?
Well, maybe it's me, because my girlfriends could always tell the difference.
Okay.
Like when the condom broke, they could always feel the difference. That matter of
Not
fact,
your turn.
sometimes they felt it before I
Not
did.
your turn.
So maybe it's me.
Okay, Vonda, go ahead.
be.
It's your turn.
Okay, so my thing is, I will agree with Ruby. Not all vaginas are created the same, just like all penises are not created the same. Have you ever heard of a dress sock and a tube sock? Okay, that could be the difference between a condom. Not all condoms are created the freaking same. Okay, a 19-year-old vagina compared to a 50-year-old woman's vagina, I doubt that any of you guys would be able to tell the difference. It makes no bit of difference. When a woman does have children, things do change, but that has absolutely nothing to do with it. The ladies who are speaking are actually speaking from their personal experience. And just as a matter of fact, you cannot tell every single time when a condom is being used versus one not being used. If you're in a consensual sexual relationship with someone and you're saying, hey, okay, I'm not on the pill, I don't want the hormones. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I got the condom. We're going to use the condom. We're going to use the lube and it's going to be all good. And like Ruby says, he goes and we do a different position and this fool takes the condom off and I don't notice the difference. That makes me a fucked up person because I don't notice the difference when not all condoms are created the same. Don't speak on another woman's vagina just like another man can't speak on another man's dick. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. This is people talking, having a conversation, giving their experiences. Nobody's putting up a front. There's no need for it. Who is there to impress? It's a conversation. We're sharing our experiences. And, I welcome the differences and the different experiences that I'm hearing. I don't always agree with everything, but you know what? I explore it. I listen to it and I'm like, wow. Where'd that come from?
Welcome to the panel music. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Well,
hey, DJ.
After this conversation, y'all took all the fun out of chasing coochie tonight. I'm going to sleep. Bye.
What
the hell? Well, I got, please, fellas, don't call me simp, but I got to agree with the ladies. I mean, on this one, there's no way a man can tell a woman whether she can feel condom or not. I've been, doing my thing for quite a number of years now, and always been the question to me, hey, did you put a condom on last night? You won't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I've had that conversation.
You really don't. I mean, it's for a woman, it is. Think about it. It's plastic versus, if it's long as it's doing the job of entering, not unless the man goes limp. I mean, it really is hard to tell, to be quite honest with you.
Like I said, maybe it's me. My girls always told me. They always told me.
No, I don't want to say somebody lying, but goddamn.
They won't be like, wait a minute. They be like, hold on, wait a minute. Because sometimes, they know that difference. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's the women I deal with. I don't know. But I'm going by my experience.
Well, and I think that's exactly what the ladies were doing too, and I think that's why they got so hot and heavy with you, my man. You kind of invalidated their experiences.
Yeah,
I mean,
you discounted our experience.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. That's why hey, I let it go. Like like I said, maybe it's just me.
Maybe it is, and that's okay. Nobody's upset about that. You conceded. It is just you.
I do got a question though, right? Like we've been stuck on this condom thing for far too long. Like
too long. Thank you.
But I want to bring something up, right?
Yes,
y'all, because let's talk about this swinging, right? See, what I have a problem with this young man is, or this younger older man here. The judge asked her a question and asked him a question. And he was just snitching on himself all the way around. Pimp Greasy would not do this, but he was snitching on himself, right? The woman actually took responsibility for getting pregnant, right? Until he told her he did it to her on purpose without her knowing. She was cool with that, long as he was doing whatever he was doing. But let's talk about the swinging part, right? Right?
Yeah, he said he was a swinger.
Now he was a swinging. He was swinging, right? He was swinging with no swing, but he was swinging, right? The judge asked him, did he invite her into the swinging? He said no. She said no. The judge said, well, you was just cheating. But did you listen how the woman was disappointed? Because she wanted to be there with him.
So he wasn't swinging, he was slanging.
No. But here's the problem, though. She wanted to join in it with him. She was all cool long as she got to participate. He had a team player and he messed it up, Pimpin'. You had a team player, you messed it up, Pimpin'.
Yeah, he was slanging.
He was slinging, but he didn't want to bring her. Matter of fact, if he would have worked it right, Pimpin', he could have, brought her with him and she could have pulled some chicks and they could have probably made some money. But guess what? For you to swing, you got to be married.
Thank you. Or at least in a relationship. How are you swinging by your damn self? Like, it's not swinging.
Yeah, that's just right. That's just going out catching something. That's all that is.
That's it. He's swinging like you don't know what he was doing. Listen, the other couples was swinging. He was the stunt dick. That's what he was. That's what he was. He was the stunt dick. And here's the problem. And here's the bigger issue. When we listen to this whole thing to transpire, they're both at fault. I ain't talking about the cheating and stuff. They had a lifestyle. If he told her what he was doing, right? He knew that he could do whatever he wanted. He got her pregnant on purpose so she can go nowhere. So then she wouldn't keep bothering him about what? Mm-hmm. Going with him to go swing. You know what I'm saying? So he could go swing by herself, and then she just took it while she was pregnant. And she didn't care long as she was getting her attention, and then she stopped getting that, and then here we go. And that's where this whole thing. So they both culpable in the situation.
But did they say that though? Did they say they both swung together?
No,
did they actually say that?
No. She allowed it. She knew it. She wanted to join in. He didn't let her join in. That's what I'm saying. He got her pregnant on purpose so she can be down and out. Because guess what? If she's pregnant, she can't keep asking him to go swing because he told her what he was doing. He said, I'm going swinging. She said, yeah, he told me about some of it, but not all of it. He ain't going to tell a pregnant woman that he out here smashing other chicks while she going through hormonal changes. You're crazy. You know what I'm saying?
True. Okay.
See, that's the problem is, both two times and as I'm listening to this video, they said, well, I was young when this happened. 25 ain't young. 30 ain't young. When you lay down with a chick, fellas, or women, when you lay down with a man and there's no condom, it's 50-50. Bottom line to it, that's voice of reason. It's 50-50. Women, if you know your body, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a gynecologist, but I do read a lot. And I think there's only a certain time a month that a woman can get pregnant. Don't put that thing up off on me on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Why? Because on my cycle, that's that time of month I could get pregnant. So, I mean, she had low culpability in this. You can't get pregnant. Yeah, it is. He can throw it off in you, but you got to say to yourself, is this going to be the week every time you let him run up in your raw? It's going to be the night.
But you know what the problem is? The problem is this, and men don't maybe know this, but around the time that a woman gets like she ovulates, she gets like really horny, right? Because it's like it's a natural function. So it's like literally the time of the month that you actually really want sex for yourself, like you're driven for it, is the time that you're normally ovulating, which for some women is not consistent either. Like men think that, every woman, it's just very consistent at day 14, like they say. Like, no, mine has never been consistent, ever. right? And so therefore I never know when I'm ovulating, not really, because there's no consistency, right? So I normally have an idea because all of a sudden you like feel like a ravenous tiger. You want to get it all the time. So it's like there's a catch-22 in that. So if you don't engage in sex the one time of the month that you really want to engage in sex, then you're basically having lackluster sex all the time.
Yeah, and there go the problem. That's when that's that's what they say. That's when a woman wants it the most. Right around that time, she's starting to ovulate. So again, it's 50-50. So what do you do in that situation? Me, after I'm in a relationship, and I'll be quite honest with you, after a while to be in that relationship, I don't even go to the store looking for condoms. What the fuck I need that for?
Yeah, I noticed that.
You don't need them because you waiting 6 to 12 months, DJ.
Oh no, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen anyway. That ain't gonna happen anyway. Hell no, 6 to 12 months.
And you'll be all right.
I wish the hell I would wait 6 to 12 months.
The spirit of child support compels you. You shall stop that evilness, Ricky Bobby.
Hey, how's your pull-out game though? See, that's the question. Let me ask, how's your pull-out game? I was with someone for years. We never used the condom. His pull-out game was strong though. I know it's not a great method of but I never got pregnant, not once, because he pulled out in time.
All you gotta do is right when you get that urge, all you gotta do is start thinking baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. You won't get none of them if you get her pregnant.
Exactly.
Pull out.
See? There you go.
Don't tell nobody that. That does not work.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
It works for me.
I have no babies. It works.
You were just lucky. Cut it out. You were just luck. That was luck.
Wait a minute. Let's get back to that 6 to 12 month thing. Hell no.
We have a donation, everyone, and you know what we do. We have a donation. We gotta we have to make she sing. So here we go.
Nice.
Thank you so much for your donation.
That might happen, right? That might be a part of somebody's pull-up game right there.
Right? No, you know what? Here, listen. I'm gonna tell you guys something that guys I don't think know a lot about. So just like women have pelvic floor muscles, so do men. And the issue is, if you have weak pelvic floor muscles, that's when you get a lot of pre-cum that has sperm in it, because your pelvic floor muscles are weak. If you strengthen them, then you won't have a lot of pre-ejaculate, and therefore, you up your chances of pull-out game being good enough by like 1 million. I'm just saying.
Write this down.
I don't know.
Right.
I always thought it was just that she would throw them hips right up. Wait a minute, give me 5 seconds. I gotta breathe. I gotta breathe.
Sometimes you just like see what I learned here, right? In the church, in our church, when we teach these young men that are in the church, well, we only got 3 of them because most men don't come to the church anymore. It's not the ladies here. That's the way we like to keep it. But when we tell the men and the ladies that if you don't want to get pregnant, you're going to have to speak into the mic and take the communion.
You know what, brother? You know what?
The Lord has never birthed a child out of someone's mouth.
So saith the shepherd, so saith the flock.
Reverend Pimp Greasy, where's the holy water? Can somebody go get the bucket of holy water?
We drank that earlier and got tired.
Over here bad acting.
The problem. I'm just saying it's twofold, right? It's when the brother was up here saying that women are the first line of defense for the womb. No, they haven't been. They used to be. They haven't been until recently. Right? It was men that was the first line of defense, right? Because that's what courting was in the play. No, you don't be out there. You sit on the porch, you're courting. Hey, get away from her. Where's the chaperone? Usually a man is going on a date with you, or a younger sister, because you can't do so much. Then, you know what I'm saying? And all this extra stuff. That was the first line of defense. It was the men in the community and in the family and in the household that was the first line of defense for the chastity.
All right, we're going to move on to what we didn't get a chance to discuss. So this will be the alpha male guy. his list of stuff. So let me play that, and we'll finish the show with this part of it.
This fool.
Starting off.
Mrs. Sanders.
Thank you, Juan. Kaza Love.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought Mr. Jamal Sanders
Yes, Your Honor.
to court today. The two of you have been in a relationship for 3 years. You have one child together. He's 13 months old. But now you said things are rocky and things have gotten really bad between the two of you. You want to discuss it in divorce court today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
I'll
Your
start
Honor.
with you, ma'am. Give me some background.
Your Honor, I'm here because this trifling man has caused me so much pain. He stressed me out. He's always trying to control me. He's always accusing me of looking at other men. I'm over. I can't live my life. It's like every time I go somewhere, I have to look on the floor. He's done so many things. Let me tell you what happened. So one time we was at the grocery store. We were walking down the aisle and I was grabbing Cheez-Its. And he accused me of looking at a supposedly swole man on that aisle. And I didn't even see the man. I literally grabbed my stuff, put it in the cart, and went to the next aisle.
Well, Mr. Sanders, what do you have to say? Give me some background on why you think you're here, and then you can respond to that.
Okay, the reason I'm here is because she thinks I'm insecure, but really, it's always something she does, and she always say she's not doing that, but I see you doing this. So it's like, why are you lying? You know what I'm saying?
So when she was at the grocery store getting her Cheez-Its, you're saying that she was looking at somebody else who was swole?
Right.
He
was a little bit buffer than me. A little bit buffer than me. Just a little bit, you know?
Okay, but if I'm with you, I'm with you. I wasn't looking at him.
You think she has a wandering eye?
Yes, I do.
Now, Miss Love, you say that is not the case, but
No,
you're
it's
always
not.
being accused. So the
Yes.
Cheez-Its was one incident. Tell me about another time you say he acted insecure.
Okay, so me, him, my sister, and my niece, we all went out to eat at a restaurant that me and him frequent. We always go there. And we were, there's a guy who works there. I guess he's like, he cleans up and he's a waiter. He came as, is the food, everything okay? And we're like, yeah, we're good. And he keeps walking past. And then Jamal accuses me and says, he says, well, what do y'all have going on? Why does he keep looking at you? And I was like, what do you mean? We don't have nothing going on. I don't even know this person. He works here. And then he's like, well, excuse me, come here, and tells the dude to come to the table and says, what you got going on with my girl? Stop looking at her. And I'm
This
like,
nigga
what in the
crazy.
world? Like, this is so embarrassing. My sister is here. We're eating out. This is embarrassing. I don't even want to go here anymore.
Mr. Sanders, did you think she had something going on with the server at the restaurant?
I'm gonna put it like this. I ain't blind. I can see everything. So, you know what I'm saying? He has the whole restaurant to clean up, but instead you right at the table with her. You know what I'm saying? Wiping the table as soon as I come out the bathroom.
I mean, wiping the table is his job.
It is his job. But I feel like
You're saying the timing of him wiping the table was suspect to you.
it was suspect. And also every time we come in the restaurant, I see him, giving her the look. Like, look at her. You know what I'm saying? She
Right.
is
So if
attractive.
guys look at her, that's she's an attractive woman. It's
Right.
going to happen.
Right.
But you're saying that you thought maybe there was something more to it.
Right.
And you don't think this is just in your head a little bit at all?
It might be. You never know.
Oh, it might be.
It might be.
It's definitely in his head. Your Honor, he's done so many things. First of all, he even got a secret paternity test on our child.
What do you mean secret?
Behind my back. I had no idea he even got it. What originally happened was, first, I was working with a coworker, and this coworker called my phone, and he picked up my phone. He says that the dude said that me and him have been having sex, and that was not true. And I'm like, what? And
Did your coworker really say that?
My coworker actually did say that.
Why would your coworker say that about you?
My coworker liked me, but I told him that I was dating Jamal and I didn't want to be with him. So I guess when he heard a man on the phone, he took the opportunity to sabotage me, but I never had sex with him. The thing is, because I was pregnant at the time, he went and took that as, okay, maybe this is not our child, and kept accusing me, saying that's not even my son. And then after the baby came, he got a secret paternity test behind my back.
Excuse me.
Was it your child?
Yes, it was my child.
Why'd you get a secret paternity test?
Because I felt like this might be his kid. See, now, let me tell you the story how it went on my
You believed the coworker?
Over
yes,
me. Right.
I believe the coworker at the moment. Now, okay.
But you don't believe him now?
I don't believe him now.
You
No.
think he lied to you?
I think he lied.
You know he lied to you now. Correct?
Yes, he lied.
This nigga.
Has your girlfriend ever stepped out on you in your relationship to your knowledge? Or you just you have suspicions?
I have suspicions.
She's never actually done it. Am I right?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Better be careful, sir, because sometimes you push too hard, you might get what you suspect.
You're right. You're right. But I feel like this, Your Honor. Now, with that whole story, okay, I was dropping her food off at her job. Now, he was staring me down the whole time.
And somebody else now staring you down.
Yes. So I'm looking back at him like, why he's looking at me like this. She says, I don't know. So 2 days later, she get a phone call while she's in the restroom. Some told me to answer the phone, so I answered the phone. When I answered it, I said, hello. He hung up. So I text back, why you hang up? He said, because my B didn't pick up the phone. I said, your B, so I guess she's mine as well. We're sharing tonight. He said, I've been cheeks, you just playing Captain Sable. Now, so if somebody tell you that, you know what I'm saying, what are you going to think?
When you read a message like that, there's no part of you that thinks that he's just trying to antagonize you, because that's what it sounds like to me.
Right.
So you find out that's not true, but these incidents keep happening.
Yes, there's a lot more, and he's also verbally abusive towards me. I'm over him. I'm very much over him. What happened was he took me to go get my hair done, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I got my hair done, looking cute. You know, you want to look cute for your man, right? So I got my hair done, and then when I go back out to the car, he says, oh, you look ugly. I'm like, what? I look ugly? Like, I know I'm not ugly. So he said I look ugly, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, all of a sudden you start trying to put me down, and it doesn't make sense to me.
Listen, Your Honor, the reason I did that was because, you know, I did my research on this thing called alpha male strategies. I even brought it to you today.
So you calling her ugly was a part of your technique?
Yes.
And you still in this relationship?
Yeah, unfortunately, he's apologized, but I realized it's not worth it. And I kind of try to stay because I wanted my son to have, you know, father figure around. But I realized we can co-parent. I don't have to be there.
Not when he's calling his mama ugly.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
sir, let me see your, okay, you have a name to the list.
Right.
Alpha tactic list.
Right. Number one, it says,
Tragic.
Don't beg for sex. Alpha males, we don't beg for sex. You know what I'm saying? I'm alpha, I'm sorry, you know? Two, we don't tolerate disrespect. Like, it's been several occasions where, you know, she would blatantly start talking to me any kind of way.
So you have on this list, talk down to her at all times.
Yes.
Which is
make sure they give you money. Don't give compliments. Don't give validation.
Right.
Don't be a beta. So if you go by this list, you obviously don't want to be a boyfriend either.
Exactly. I
can tell you right now, number 10 should be, how long after I start this list is my girlfriend leaving?
You don't want no pussy.
Talk down to her at all times. That's why you called her ugly after she got her hair done?
Exactly. That was the reason.
You thought this was actually going to work for you in your relationship.
The reason why I did that.
I guess it does if you date someone who does not have any self-esteem, or you're trying to undermine their self-esteem because you feel so insecure about yourself.
See,
you stand in front of me 6 foot tall, but you're really this big on the inside. And you think this is the way you're supposed to treat a woman.
Right. See, that's not the exact way I thought.
You came up with the list. I'm going by your list.
It was what I researched.
The internet lied to him.
Right.
I didn't even know he had this list. I didn't know he was following these strategies, because I'm like, why is he being so rude? Where's all this coming from? And to me, honestly, you are a beta, because what real man would put their woman, who is the mother of their child, through all of this?
She didn't call him a beta
Your
on
Honor,
TV.
the reason why I did this was because I felt like every girl likes the bad boy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that's what she liked, you know? So that's why I came up with this.
What happened when you called her ugly when she got in the car?
She started crying.
Okay. Okay, so that's not what she likes. Because what you're really doing with this alpha male nonsense is masking.
This poor fool.
That's also not fully true. You know what I'm saying? Because there were also times where, like, for instance, we was at the pool party, you know, she has, you know, on a one-piece bathing suit. It comes with a topper, you know, the skirt. So she see her friend in her thong bathing suit, you know, dancing or whatever. Okay, she go get a plate of food. She come back with the plate of food. Pretends, I see her hand goes like this. She do a hand like this. She flipped the plate onto her skirt. You know what I'm saying? To get the food. Oh, she say, oh, now I got to take it off. So now, you know, you at the pool with everything out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of uncomfortable because I feel like if you're my lady, it's not for the whole.
It's not about you.
It's not the whole party.
It's not about you.
It's
She
a
in the pool.
bikini,
She got on the bathing
nigga.
suit. It's not about you right now.
It's a
And I'm saying
bikini,
this in the
nigga.
context of everything I've heard today. So you think she intentionally spilled her plate of food on herself
And I
so
did
she could
not.
take off a skirt?
Yes.
I definitely did not.
That makes
I think
sense.
he's just overreacting. He does too much. He even threatened me to give him money or he would leave me and my child and not be in my child's life. And I feel like, how can you do that as a father? I mean, really? So now I'm supposed to give you, he said $500 or he will never speak to me or be in my child's life again.
So that's what it's worth? That's what it's worth, Mr. Sanders? $500 to you? What is that, $500 a month?
No, it was just a one-time $500 fee.
So that's what it's worth to you?
It's not.
You asked her for $500 or you would never speak to her or the baby again?
I just did that because, she came up on the
list. Because it's on the list. You going by the list?
Right.
The biggest bunch of nonsense I ever heard in my life.
This nigga.
Now get yourself together. You're a father now to a 13-month-old son.
Shit.
Idiot.
He's so insecure. Like when I just moved into my apartment, I invited him over. I said, you can come over and stay for a little while for like a week so you can spend time with your son. So what happened was he left to go do Uber or whatever. I call him. It's like 1:00 in the morning. I call him and I'm just like, hey, are you okay? Because I'm about to go to bed. And then he comes home with a baseball bat, like creeping around in the dark. I'm thinking somebody broke into my house. And I'm like, what are you doing? He said that he assumed that because after I called him, his close friend, called him saying, hey, bro, what you doing? So now he assumed that me and the dude was having sex at my place.
Because of 2 phone calls?
Because of 2 phone calls.
Mr. Sanders?
You gotta understand, I've been heartbroken before, so
we all have.
Right.
Oh,
but
so that's
the past relationship.
Say la vie. That's life.
Right.
So what does that mean? You've been heartbroken before. So you show up with a baseball bat
right
at your girlfriend's house because you think you're gonna catch her with somebody simply
run.
based on a phone call with your friend?
Home run. I was about to send him up out of there, But I was, due to my past situation which was before her, it scarred me coming into the relationship.
I'm really over with him. I just want everything to be on the table. There was one time that he took his whole entire check because he posted a picture of himself in front of somebody else's car. It's a luxury car. So he went and posted on Instagram and said, some type of caption, everybody in the comments saying, oh, hey, big, let me ride in that. Oh, that's not yours. And he was like, that's mine. That's mine. And it's not his car. So what he did
That look like a
BMW,
BMW, don't it?
His whole entire check, $1,600, and had a luxury rental car and try to show off. And then he had the audacity to ask me for gas money that week.
Wow.
Because he had used all his money.
This nigga
This
right
does not surprise
here.
me. You perpetrating?
Nope.
And posing for your friends.
Yeah.
Because you're always looking for a way to stroke your ego and make yourself feel better about you.
Mm-hmm. Tragic.
$500. You say that was the price for you to walk in or out of his life. That's something that you have to rectify in your own moral compass, sir. That's something you have to deal with it internally. But as for you, don't ever stay in a relationship where you are being mentally and emotionally abused for the sake of your child, because all you're going to do is normalize that in front of your child. And they're going to think this is okay. This is acceptable. The way my mother is being treated is right. And it is not.
Should have, did the right thing by her. Don't leave me.
Look, he brought her back so bad. She's like, I'm over him. I'm way over him.
Can we start over?
Hell no.
I'm sorry, I can't.
What the fuck?
She's just so nice too.
I have to love myself more, and I can't.
People believe in second chances. You should too. Wow.
Right.
You already had 10 chances. These aren't gonna
I'm call me ugly again.
You can always come see your son. I'm never closing that door, but with me, it's closed.
Today's case is Love versus Sanders.
She just needed to be playing that Destiny's Child song on repeat to him. You're trifling, good for nothing type of brother. But silly me, why haven't I found another? They wrote that song for him, okay? Damn.
Now,
This guy was ridiculous.
Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Now, you know, I as the reverend, you know what I'm saying, I have to, you know, as a church of derelict, destroyed Negro males, I have to say this, right? If she can go to the church of the Lord and give 10% of her earnings to God once a month and give the pastor,
heal it, Reverend,
you know what I'm
heal
saying?
it.
You know what I mean? Give the pastor a
Pass it
love
to me.
offering.
Pass it to me next. Pass it to me next.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? If she could give me a love offering, a pastor, every week, she can get this man $500. Now he could have got a haircut.
It's only money. It's only money.
You know what I'm saying? You know what he needs? I know what he needs. Listen. If he had that $500, we could have set him up, and he could have got some Chelsea boots. He could have got some sweet fragrance of masculinity. You know what I'm saying? We could have gave him
masculinity.
Yeah, you know, because he would look at this list. This list is this. You know what this list is? How to be an alpha dry dick male. You know what I'm saying? That's what this list is.
How to be an incel.
That's the blueprint of that's the blueprint of no coochie right there. There it is right there. All 10 of them.
Well, he did his research. He said he did his research, and it's what he came up with.
You saw what happened at the end. She said she gonna love herself and not him.
He hurt her feelings so bad. She's like, I'm over him. This fool hurt me. He told her her hair was ugly. She went and got her hair done, wanting her man to like it. He's like, oh, why you do that? That's ugly. She cried. That hurts. She's like, I'm not going to let you abuse me anymore.
You know what? I'll say this. I won't say all of the issue. I don't have an issue with everything on the list because the first two I think are more than reasonable. Don't beg for sex. That makes you look like a pathetic loser,
Ruby.
Right? Like, don't be a pathetic loser, please. Yeah, and don't tolerate disrespect. You should not, under any circumstances, tolerate disrespect, abuse, anything from any woman ever. Yes, I agree with those two. The rest of it's bullshit, but those two I agree with, right? Like
the rest of that list is why she was leaving, and he's sitting up there begging her because he knew his list was shit.
Right now he's begging.
I believe in second chances, don't you?
Baby, please.
Baby, please.
Like,
baby, please.
I'm so over you.
I didn't mean to call you ugly, baby. Please, just one more chance.
See, but this is what I said last week, and I still stand by it. Now some things have gotten worse in my head, but I stand by this. He hooked up with this chick, okay? And when I say hooked up, I mean had the opportunity to really date her, found out she's down to earth, she likes you for you, she's actually down to keep dating you. And he was just like, I can't even believe this is true. And he immediately, with all of his insecurities and ain't shitness, said, I don't deserve this girl, and how do I keep her? And so he went looking on the damn internet like a jackass, right? And he went and found these coaching tips, right? Because he did quote a particular channel. Now, I don't know if it's specifically from the channel Alpha Male Strategies or if it's just from that segment of Black YouTube, but he found that and used their dating tips. It's not even dating tips. The tips that they give you to get like pussy basically at the end of the night when you're at the club, chicks are drunk.
To burn it out. That's not even to get. That's not even a lure for coochie. That is like to burn it off and to never get it and to never see it again, to smell it, touch it, or anything.
No, this would work. See, here's the thing. But remember, this is in conjunction with a bunch of other tactics. So you try all this stuff, right, on 100, 200 girls that night. You're going to hit on one who has very low self-esteem, who, you know what, honestly was going to have sex with anybody who talked to her anyway because she just needed that itch scratch and whatever. So it's going to work eventually. And so that's what they tell you to do. You just keep banging it out until suddenly you finally get a yes, right? He doesn't understand. No one told him. These are not dating tips. These are not in a relationship tips. These are not you're in love with her and you can respect her and she's not just some ain't shit hoe and now what tips, right? Like no one told him that. So he just thought, and remember he said it. He said, but women like this. That means someone's lying to him. Someone told him that women like this. This is the kind of man women want to be with. So you become that kind of man, and your woman won't leave you. That's what he was thinking, like a jackass.
But at some point, you got to realize this dude was using these tactics in conjunction with his you know, the pain that he was going through from his breakup or whatever happened to him.
Yeah, some
Right.
bullshit.
And he didn't get over that. So either this chick was screwing every male that walked past her.
She might have been there.
Everybody.
She did look like a bit of a tramp, though.
He had a problem with everybody. So either she was banging out every dude that walked in her, you know, vicinity, or he has got to be, you know, he's got to work on that insecurity.
I'm still questioning all them phone calls from the coworker. Why you calling me every day? What we got to talk about at work?
But you know what? The fact
it wasn't every day though.
He wasn't even it didn't even seem like he was that upset that the coworker was calling. It was just the fact that he was like, you know, oh, this is like, you know, another dude. It's like every single dude, you know, and I'm gonna believe what anybody said. He done laid down with this woman, had a baby
trying to
with
help the
her.
brother out. I ain't got no defense. I ain't got nothing for you, bro.
It's like, and he sounded so sure with these. Yeah, I'm gonna tell her hair is ugly, and she's gonna come running back to me. I'm gonna be a bad guy, and she's gonna come running back to me. She's like, dude, you burnt this relationship up.
Just some niggas you just can't save.
And the fact that he was already in the relationship, that's why I don't understand. Why did he decide to do this after the relationship had started? I didn't get that.
See, men do not believe when women like me, right? Women like Vonda, women like yourself tell men, hey, no, we actually want to be respected. We want to feel love. For us, security is not just about how much money you can throw our way or, you know, some social status. There's more to it than that. They don't believe it. They honestly don't. And then they go to the internet and they find stuff to confirm that, right? And so they honestly believe, like, no, it's just a matter of time. Look how beautiful she is. You know, she's not your girl. She's just your girl right now. It's just your turn. Blah, blah, blah. So when you inundate people with messages like that, they believe you eventually, right? I mean, he's a young guy,
You're right.
impressionable guy, right?
You're right, because if you continue to take in the information that you hear constantly online, 24/7, you got at any time live stream just going. Women this, women that, this, that, and other. And you take that information in, eventually you're just going to go ahead and trauma bond, because this guy he said he went to research. He would have never researched anything if he hadn't been hurt before.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. He's like, I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. I'm going to fix this.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the guy got into a relationship with a girl that accepted him for himself. She was willing to work everything out. Now, I mentioned before, and I'll say it again. Poetic Kales, as far as with him taking the getting the paternity test, because there's so much fishy stuff going on, I'm with them on that. I have I don't even bat an eye to the fact that he did that behind her back. Good for him. However, everything else he did, accusing her of this. Oh, he looked at you. He looked at you too funny. You looked at him. You did this. I'm like, what is all this, son?
These random places, or the restaurant, you know, the Boys and Girls Club, you know, the grocery store. I'm like, well, damn, dude.
He was just out of. He just realized
the mailman.
He was just
that
out
guy
of his
that just
league.
drove down the street. It's like, okay, wait a minute, dude. You know, I cannot be sleeping with every guy that we see walking down the street.
Yeah, he was out of his league. He just realized he had a woman that a whole lot of men found attractive, and he had to deal with that, and he couldn't.
And
he was
you
out
know
of his
what's so
league.
sad about it? But you want to know what's so sad about it? It's because this woman, you know, as pretty as she is, as great as he thinks she is, she wanted to be with him.
Yeah.
She laid him up and had a baby with him, and he couldn't even give her that. He was like, "Oh no, you're still sleeping with other guys. You're doing this, you're doing that. You're sleeping with the mailman. You know, you're sleeping with, you know, the next door neighbor." And she's just like, "Oh my."
Right. She did tolerate a lot. I will say that. She did tolerate a lot from him.
So it's like after that, it's like being out from under that headache. You can imagine how she felt. I'm not going back to that. Oh, we're done. You can see your son anytime you want. We're done.
When she said, my child, that did it. I'm like, oh, she's done with him.
Yeah, you done. When they start saying that, you done.
You know what? I'm going to say this because Sakpasa said that in the chat as well. So who doesn't want to say their girl looks good? See, now that was what I grew up in, right? Was this idea that men wanted to have. I mean, we're talking when we're like younger, when we're teenagers and stuff too, right? But I'm saying men wanted to have a fine girl on their arm. They wanted all the guys, and they would be like, "God damn,
right. Don't
where'd
no
you get
man
that
want
from?"
right. Don't no man want a woman nobody looking at. What the hell?
Right.
Nobody looking at you. Nobody.
Nobody,
you know what?
exactly. And like, you know what, the men that I've been with, right? Because I'm very unaware. I just throw myself around in the world, and I don't even like pay attention. And men that I've been with have consistently told me, like, well, you didn't see that guy staring at you? No, I don't see anyone, like, period. I just basically wander around. But they notice, right? And when they notice, they don't get all upset about it. They don't assume I must be banging that guy, right? They're like, yeah, that's right. I got the fine thing. Yeah, right? They feel good about themselves, right? That's how you're supposed to feel as a man. Like, yeah, I got it. Hot. You can't have it. It's mine. Like,
see, the one thing that kills me with men, and for this guy too, you guys do not know when you have it good when a chick is into you. And I can tell there was a moment in time where this girl was so into him.
Facts.
And he so mistreated her that it just pushed her way from the right over to the left out into another stadium. That she didn't want to have crap to do with him. Yeah. I mean, hey, see your kid, I don't even want to talk to you because it was so overbearing the way that he treated her. And there was a time where she thought that this man was the shit. Yeah. He was it. And that's what kills me with men is that their insecurities, that they don't know when your woman thinks that you are great and wonderful.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say this, right? And this is where we miss it on him, right? Now, I have to give the excuse for the unexcusable. I have to make you feel pity, shame, and hope, right? It's gonna be hard for me to do this, so I am bringing in the powers of dereliction so I can do this. All right, so now, as the spirit of ain't shitness takes over me, I'm going to tell you what the problem was. See, what he was in his first relationship was he was a simp, right? He was loving and caring, right? And what happened was he got cheated on, right? He trusted too much, right? He was awestruck. And maybe that woman was doing whatever she was doing, whatever, right? He was doing too much. So as men, we go to extremes when we're stupid, right? And when we go to extremes, if you are an extreme simp, then you got to be an extreme, ridiculous alpha male with this list, right? Think about it. Why did he do everything on this list? Like it was a checkoff list. Don't beg for sex. Now, he didn't beg for sex.
He sure did.
You know what I'm saying? Well, he don't beg for sex, right? See, what that mean on that tactic list, it doesn't mean don't beg for sex. You don't beg for like, baby, give me the sex. That means grab him by the pussy. That's what that means, right? Don't tolerate any disrespect. You know what that means? That means any type of conversation that needs to be talked, and if it's not in the concept of I say you shut up, we go, right? Bark like a dog, whatever you like, you know what I'm saying? Royal penis is clean, your highness. That's what number 2 means, right? Number 3, right? Always be the bad boy. You know what I'm saying? Put Dawn on the armor of the wife beater in the name of his Ike Turner and all of those that are holiness. 5 fingers to the face if she up there talking out of the mouth. That's what number 3 means. 4, make her beg for you. You withhold the penis if your penis game is up to par. A lot of times, penis game isn't up to par, right?
You got a pocket full of gold.
You know what I'm saying? Number 5, talk down to her at all times. Destroy her confidence. Tell her she is nothing. Break her down, but don't build her up into nothing. Listen.
You're ugly. You're black. Don't nobody want you.
Silly. Number 6, make sure they give you money. Guess what? She can't get her hair and nails done, and she'll stay ugly if she ain't got no money. Come on now.
Is DJ Music gonna have to choke a bitch?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? If she ain't got no money, she can't get in trouble. Yeah. And ain't no dude messing with no chick that look broke down and busted. Got him. You know what I'm saying? Number 7, don't give her no compliments. Number 8 is really number 7 because compliments is validations. I don't know why we got 2 of the same thing, but you know, nigga was on the roll.
Who we got the list from?
You know what I'm saying? And number 9, do not be a beta by anyone. Do not be nice. Do not be considerate. Do not
at
show
all.
any type
Not
of
at all.
remorse.
Don't open no car doors. Nothing.
Nothing. Matter of fact, she got to open the door for you when you go into the store.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact,
that was a lie.
If your woman is sitting down on public transportation and she pregnant, she need to stand up and let you sit down because she won't be able to be pregnant because she can't work a job if she walking around 9 months. I shall be and thou shall be. Now I added that so this can be the 10 alpha commandments of you being dry dick.
We need 10. We need 10.
We need 10. We gotta have 10. You know what I mean? They didn't even have a perfect round number. Everything got to be perfect round numbers. You got to be divisible by 2.
Like them titties.
Exactly. Because you got to be divisible by 2. You know why? Because guess what? Most dudes can't even do all 10. So you're only going to do half of them. It's human nature. So we're going to only talk on the first 5. Don't beg for sex. Don't tolerate no disrespect.
Yeah.
Be a bad boy.
I'm sorry. The money part would have been
they didn't list number 10. Right, listen, they didn't list number 10. They didn't list number 10 because it goes without saying. Make sure your jerk-off stash is way strong because you're going to be using it constantly, right? That's number 10. They just
that
they
ain't
don't
number
have
10.
to say it out loud.
That is not number 10. That can't be number 10.
I said your woman should get up. Number 10 is your woman should open all doors for you. Matter of fact, she should go to the store with the money that she don't got and get rose petals to throw them at your feet. That's
Bonnet free. Bonnet free.
This list, I'm already tired reading the list. The list is tiring just reading it.
See that you're hard-headed. That's what the problem is.
You don't even have a time for a job for that damn list. It's like, stop it.
A job, your job is to be my school. No, it's not. I don't even want you catering. That's what I got the dirty foot chick. I brought her back, you know, because they ain't got no stoves where she's from. So I brought her back.
All sundresses.
Sundresses. It's sundress season all day. All day. You know what I'm saying? Look, I don't care if it's 20 below outside.
Sundresses. All sundresses.
All sundress season.
And no stockings.
That's what I'm talking about. Now that's the real list. This right here, I had to do some alterations because the God of ain't shitness touched me in the soul and spirit.
He got me too, Pastor. He got me too. He got me too, Pastor. He got me too.
No, you know what, y'all? I'm gonna say this, right? And you know, men might disagree with me, right? But this is what I would say. To me, the large majority of this list, again, except for number 1 and number 2, is literally the description to me of what a beta male acts like. And I'm being honest because to me, alpha males, every alpha male I've ever met in my whole life, right? Those men that they just walk into the room and they exude it, right? You just feel that. As women, we can feel a different kind of pull from an alpha male. Now, they make you feel a certain way, which is they make you feel feminine and pretty and special,
it makes you feel little,
and delicate.
You know, like, oh my God,
yeah.
And just, oh my God, and just like,
right. You know, they yeah, and all giggly or blushy, and they might have different tactics as far as how they are, you know, communicating with women. But the point is that they make you feel a certain way. So all of this is literally the exact opposite of every alpha male I've ever met. Exactly the opposite.
So none of that me and the pastor was just saying work?
Not even a little bit. No, not even a little bit. Listen, except for, again, the don't beg for sex, because to me that is literally like, it's not even beta, it's like an omega.
I'm sorry, you know that if you're in a relationship, nobody should have to beg for sex.
But who said they haven't? Who says they haven't?
Who has? I don't know, but you know, I can't speak for all men. I'm just saying. To me, right? If a man would beg me for sex immediately, he puts himself on the "I'll never have sex with you again ever in life."
Give it, men. Don't list. That should be number 1. Don't beg for sex.
Yeah, it's gross. It's gross when men beg for anything. I just don't like when men whine or beg, or it's just gross. and don't tolerate disrespect, with the exception of those two things, right? With alpha males, just automatically don't tolerate disrespect. They don't
let anyone disrespect you, especially your woman. I mean, come on,
exactly,
and
right?
vice versa.
Anyone, but that's the thing. You just said it right there. Anyone. Alpha males don't let anyone disrespect them, man, woman, or child. Just they don't tolerate disrespect. But let's look at for example, the make sure they give you money thing. Which again, this is how you know he didn't find this until after he was already in the relationship.
101 right there. The minute he said that, it was like, no, that's straight homosexual 101.
Well, yeah,
Make
right.
sure
But he didn't do
money.
it. He didn't do it until after she had already had his kid. So that tells you he only went looking and learning this bullshit afterwards. But my point is this, right? With the giving you money thing. So I've heard this a lot in the last few years. And it sounds so strange and foreign to me. And I'll explain why. Because the 50-50 concept in, we'll say, Jamaican culture doesn't exist. Men pay for everything. And I'm not saying that in a privilege. No, but men feel a way taking money from anybody. Men, other men, whatever. They want to take care of stuff. If they bring their friends, their cousins, their little sisters, their boys, girlfriend, whoever it is inside the car, and y'all are gonna get some food, they're paying for everybody. That's how men do it. It's normally the head, the highest man, you know what I mean? The oldest man, the most respected man, just pays for everyone. That's what people do. Women don't pay for things like that when they're with men. So it sounds weird to me that, men would not only accept the money, right, but demand it. If she doesn't give you money, she's not really into you. And I'm like, I don't really think that women, I mean, it's true, women will be willing to invest money into you or paying for something for you, whatever, if they're really into you. That's true. I mean, we will, right? Because we take care of people we care about. But that's very different than, forcing the issue for no good reason.
And it's
right?
not in the forefront, where a woman's in her mind, oh, let me, support him and take care of him. It's like, no, he's already coming complete. I never think that I have to, give my money, to my man.
Mm-hmm. Right. That you have to. But I mean, because I've been so, and I've told this story before, right? When it was early days of me and my husband dating, and he was still in school and I was not. And so, and then after he got out of school, his whole point was to be able to get a better job because he went back to school a little early or a little late in life. And so I was paying for things. I even bought his mom Christmas gifts and birthday gifts and stuff because it really took him about 8-9 months before he actually found a job. I had no problem doing that, right? Looking at the set of circumstances and whatnot, right? I had no problem doing that at all. But, again, he didn't do any of the other bullshit on this list. It's a period of time I could do it. He wasn't demanding it. In fact, initially I had to talk him into it. He didn't want to accept anything from me. Anything. He felt weird about it. I had to convince him that it's okay for him to accept things like money or help from his girlfriend. I had to convince him, right? It's such a different attitude than, well, if she don't give me money, you better give me $500. Otherwise, I will never talk to you again, and you are the mother of my child.
Bye.
Exactly. That is
what?
crazy. That is your child. And not only that, he spent all his money on flexing for social media. Look at me. Look at my BMW. See, I'm driving. I'm styling and profile. Look at me, everybody. Say my name. See?
For anyone who just came in, Kels, he didn't make up this list. He was looking up alpha male strategies, and he found this list. While he was already dating this girl, he found this list, and he thought that this list was the key to him having success in a relationship he already had and was being successful in until he found the list. So just for people who missed that part, because it's amazing. It's amazing to me that you would think women, I mean, all evidence in society tells you that women like to be told that they're beautiful. Women like to get compliments. Women like to feel, you know what I mean? Women like those types of things. The fact that he literally thought women would like if I outrightly insult her, which is not actually even what the list says. It doesn't say outrightly insult her. Don't give her compliments. Talk down to her. Talk down to her is not about insulting her. Like, it's not about insulting your beauty. It's like talking. They mean. I'm not saying this is right either, but they mean like you talk down to someone like in a condescending way. I'm going to condescend to you to put you in your place, let you know I'm bigger than you and I'm more. I should be the boss. That's what they mean by that. But he doesn't even understand that. Like, he doesn't even understand the list and the rules he is trying to execute. And apparently the internet and all his research is not explaining it. So
you know what I think happened? Because women, they have that beautiful glow at a particular time in their pregnancy. I think she had that wonderful glow. And that's when he started looking up the list and doing his research, as he said, and created his list. Because he did start a couple of accusations before the pregnancy. But the fact that they now have a 13-month-old child, he done spent his money to flex with this picture I have up here. His whole entire check just to pose and pretend and rent this car as if it's his. That's just ridiculous. And I'm gonna tell you, this was a nice girl because it sounded like something I would have done. This woman got her own apartment, moved on, and she has her she was trying to work it out as far as him being in a child life. Like, okay, look, I don't want to see you anymore, but look here, I got this place. You can come over and stay for 1 week. You're gonna sleep in this room. I'm gonna sleep in this room. You can come in and see your child. You spend all the time with your son. I understand how important it is to have the dad in the life. Come on, enjoy your son. He went on out to do whatever because she don't even really know his income from what it sounds like. She said he went out to do Uber or whatever it is. And then I called him because it was so late to see if he was coming back because, of course, she didn't give him no key.
Right.
So I know what she's talking about. So she went on and said, okay, I'm going to do this. Called him. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. The woman want to go to sleep. Look, you coming back? What you going to do? Because I'm lay down. I'm fall asleep. The man came back with a darn bat, whatever that was supposed to be about, like he gonna beat somebody down. But the woman had already moved on, so it didn't matter. But in his mind, I'm gonna do all I can to try to keep her. I'm like, what is wrong with this dude? So she was a nice girl, just allowing that to happen. I want to point that out.
Yes. Yeah, you see, this is the problem. And, Vonda brought it up. And, it drives me crazy online when I'm hearing this because, men talk about women like they're a monolith and women talk about men like they're a monolith. Like there's no individual differences. Like there's not even clear cut major groups of, differences between certain types of women or certain types of men.
Right.
Like, so it's almost like he's trying to apply the rules of a woman who's like, she's not going to give you an inch, and as soon as you give her one, she'll take a mile, and she this and she's that, and here's all her messed up priorities and whatever. He's thinking on like a completely different level. Like he's ignoring the woman he sees in front of her or in front of him. He's ignoring her behavior. He's ignoring her treatment of him. He's ignoring every cue in his brain and body that is telling her, this is a good girl. This is a sweet girl. I don't have to be on this BS, or I don't have to be running stupid games and whatever, because at the end of the day, she's just loyal like that. She's just good like that. And for God knows what reason, she chose me. So, okay, let's do this thing. I think honestly, like he's sitting there begging and stuff on public TV because I think that was the moment it finally clicked. Oh crap, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I did have a good girl.
Right.
What the hell was I doing? Who the hell was I listening to?
She had already checked out. She had already packed her clothes, had already booked the flight. She was done. She was done with him. It was like, no.
Yeah, no. And I mean, and it's funny because, I wrote it a little earlier in the chat and I said, BGS had a point. And this is where, this is what I'm talking about. She's so out of his league because, okay, she's clearly intelligent. She's clearly a little classy and refined and stuff. And, even the way she dresses and carries herself, you could just tell that stuff. But she's so beautiful. And I put that all together and I'm like, oh, damn, she's so beautiful. If this chick is really and truly like, I'm in love with you, baby. Let's build a life together. Da da da. She's doing all that with you. She must like you because of who you are. Because you're not rich.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I was saying.
She
Exactly. She liked him. And
Yep.
you can see that he has a little nerdy side to him, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. She liked him.
Yep.
She liked him.
Liked him. Genuinely liked him for who he is. And I've had that issue before. I've dated someone who literally just could not comprehend, I'm not other women, I'm me. Right? So when I say I value honesty above all else, I mean it. When I say I don't care about money, I mean it. When I say, to me, gifts and stuff have zero value to me. In fact, if anything, I'll just kind of like scrunch my face up like that looks like it was a waste of money. I mean it. Right? And he just could not process that. And because he couldn't process, it's like, it wasn't even like bad. It wasn't a bunch of like trifling ain't shit, this kind of stuff, right? It was just more a matter of, he wasn't feeding my soul. He wasn't connecting with me on this personal level. And he kept trying to be other people that he wasn't. All trying to impress me and keep up with me. And I'm like, keep up with me? I don't want any of this.
Yeah,
you're trying to keep up with some other shit.
And Chris Brown, and it just seemed like he was just trying to be too much. And she's like, what are you doing?
Yep, he didn't even notice her. He didn't notice who she was. And honestly, I think that it's actually indicative of a bigger problem. I think overall he's a very insecure guy because of all the things he doesn't have. So maybe the looks, the money, the upbringing, all the things that he thinks he should have. So he feels less than. And that's why he didn't just do this with her. He's also flexing on the gram to try to impress random dudes. Right? Like,
that's true.
Try to get random dudes to think he's alpha. Try to get random dudes to think he's got money and like he's literally so insecure on like every level. And I think part of the issue is that this girl, he's looking at her on the surface and she looks like she fits the part of the, high value man's girlfriend kind of thing, right? And so she's just a piece of that puzzle to him. So he can front now. She's part of the overall front, and unfortunately she had a kid with him, which that doesn't go away. But I think that was it. This was so indicative of a bigger issue that he has. And when you're that insecure and you're that lost and you lack identity, then of course you fall into these stupid traps on the internet that tell you how you should be, how you should live your life, what you should think, what you should do. I mean, he's like prime for within the next couple of years, we're going to hear how he almost died from the next TikTok challenge, right? Because he was just trying to be something.
Right.
Trying to go viral or something. But did y'all notice, and I mean, because I don't know, I noticed this a little bit between the last, the first one that we were watching, and the things that guy did. And I was thinking about this list because I knew it was coming up, and I kind of felt like some of those points, some of the way that guy acted, the one who got, his girlfriend pregnant behind her, like, without her consent. I feel like he might be on the same, Kool-Aid. I do. I think he might be reading the same Kool-Aid.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's the same picture. The same picture, Kool-Aid.
Yeah, this idea where you should, I mean, it's like it seems like on one way he was going out of his way to always make her feel like she was less than, always kind of condescend to her, keep her out of things. It's like it just seemed that way. I don't know. I mean, it seems like we're seeing a lot of the repercussions of some of this bad dating advice, and I will say on both sides, right? But.
And I just want to know if these men really think, I'm going to tell you right now, there are going to be some women that are going to go for that. But on a vast, large number, women are not going for that because there's too much out there to tell them that the stuff that you're saying is bullshit. There's no way a woman should have to feel like she needs to be disrespected and mistreated to be in a quote unquote happy relationship. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous to even think that. And that's why that girl that's why she did not stay with him. For him to tell her hair is ugly, it was normal for her to cry. It was normal for her feelings to be hurt because she cared about this dude. If she thought he was a fuck dude and she didn't care about him, he could have told her cooch thing and she wouldn't have cared because she don't care about him no way. But he told her hair was ugly and that hurt her feelings.
Right.
And you cannot keep treating somebody like that and they're just going to be just laid open, wide open for you. It's not going to happen.
No.
She's done with that. And she doesn't want to feel that pain anymore. So she would rather be done with him than to go back to it. But the fact of the matter is, she's not bitter because she could be saying, I don't want you to see this kid. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. You're a piece of crap. Yeah, she said he trifling, but hey, you can see your kid, but you can't see me.
Yeah, she's a real, genuine person, right? And so this was just her being her. She stayed open as long as she could, right? And that's why she did cry, because if she wasn't open and she wasn't genuine, right, then she would have been getting her hair done for herself. I don't give a shit what you think, no ways. But she did. She was doing that thing that women do where, yeah, I mean, sure, I don't want to look like a trash bucket exactly. But, you know, when I put myself together all night, and I love my man, I want him to think I look nice. Because I'm trying to impress him. I'm not trying to impress the world. I'm trying to impress him. And so, you know, we know at least at that point in time in the relationship, you know, she was still in love with him. Maybe that was like kind of the straw that broke the camel's back in a way and made her kind of emotionally distance herself and be like, no.
It's to hurt. You can't keep hurting somebody like that and they're just going to keep opening themselves. Each time you hurt them, it's going to put, you know, a wedge between you.
Wait. Sorry, go ahead, Char.
I was going to say, he's actually, you know, he was a nice guy. He, unfortunately, whoever had him before pushed him over. He was a pushover. Unfortunate person used him. But he came to this situation. Everything was going fine, but those demons just was still torturing him. Like, she's gonna do it to you. She's too nice. Don't believe it. She don't care about you. Don't believe it. Watch her. Keep your eye on her.
And do you know how much torture that is when you're in a relationship with a person that you genuinely care about, you love, and you know you want to build with that person, but they're so caught up in their insecurities, you guys can't even freaking go to the grocery store without there being an issue about a third party. And you'd be like, okay, either I am just the town whore, you done picked the town whore to have a baby with, or you are the most insecure person I have ever met and there's some help and some intervention needed. And both of them sound very extreme.
Oh yeah.
The town whore, or we need some intervention because you're just the most insecure person that ever walked.
Well, see, and that's the problem though. A lot of women are emotional, right? And the first thing that most women do is blame themselves, right? Regardless of whatever the social issue is within the relationship, we tend to blame ourselves first. And so that's why, like, men will go, oh my God, why would she stay unless she liked it? Well, because we're blaming ourselves and we're thinking there's something we can do.
Yeah, what can we do different? Maybe if I wear some perfume, or if I put some box braids in my hair, he'll be different, you know.
Right. Okay, I'll stop. I won't go out ever. I won't do this. I won't do that. You're trying to change everything because you're thinking, really, no, maybe you are the problematic one. It takes us a long time to get to the place, right? Once we're invested, it takes us a long time to get to that place where we are like, okay, no, you know what? I really wasn't the problem. And honestly, to believe that 100%, it really does.
But that takes some deep soul searching, you know, and it takes you to be very, you know, objective with yourself. And, you know, not everybody can do it, but, you know, I've been in that situation, you know, and, you know, where it's like, okay, I'm going to listen, you know, I'm going to see what you say. And, you know, I'm going to, you know, tune into what it is that you're saying and not be so into myself. And it got to a point where it was like, it was all about, you know, them and never about you. And it's like, I can't live the rest of my life. I'm going to be 97 when I die, let's just say, and I got to live the rest of my life like this. This is a deal breaker. I cannot do this. So
Right.
either you're going to try to work on a change, or I'm going to have to leave because I can't do this. You know?
You know what the problem is too, and I'm gonna give guys a little something. I know we've been beating you up a lot tonight, but
we love you guys. This is a woman's panel, so this is it's kind of geared this way, but we love you. This is not, you know.
But I'm gonna give y'all something, because here's the thing. While there's a bunch of this foolishness on one side, you're taking young, impressionable, vulnerable, or insecure men and corrupting their minds and making them do a bunch of stupidity, right? We do have the exact same thing happening to the women, right? And so the women who are saying, I can't, they went through all high school, no one looked their way, they couldn't get attention, they couldn't get a man, they think they're gonna die alone and they're only 18, right? And so what do? They go and they find equally destructive advice about what they should do, what they should prioritize. Get rid of your feelings, lady. If he ain't buying you the bag, then he better be giving you the bag on the first date, or else. And you just hear stupidity, right? And so then you've got on both sides, right? We've got an issue. Why? Because these guys now, they can't tell, right? It's very clear that the majority of men cannot tell if you've got a woman who's just operating on good faith and good intentions and really looks at you and has, stars and hearts in her eyes and it's all genuine, or whether she's playing you like a fiddle. Most guys honestly can't tell.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ruby.
No, I was going to say, so if they can't tell, right, then what do? Because, if you're trying to do the whole, protecting yourself, so, worst case scenario, she's playing me, so I better not believe it. Well, then, I mean, there's a fair point to that. So then what do?
Well, you know what? When it gets to be that, that level of paranoia for me, when they have to question everything that she does, it's like, dude, either you leave or you let that mess go, because it's extreme. It gets to a point where it's very, very, very extreme, and it's not comfortable. She wasn't comfortable. She's like, to the point where it was so unbearable. She's like, oh no, I would never go back to that. It's like when she was walking away, she's like, no, you can see your kid, but I'm done. It's like, whew, like I don't want to lift that bag again. You know how heavy that bag was? She's done with him, and he's like, reminiscing and, melancholy, and I'm sorry now. She's like, oh no, you can be a whole bag of sorries. I'm just, no. You don't know what I had to go through to build myself back up.
Yeah, and it did tear her down. And I know, and let me see what Don Teasy gonna write, because I'm gonna be ready for him. The one I called the nut, he had we were at dinner, and he went to the bathroom, he came back, and because this guy looked at me a certain way, he had accusations that we exchanged phone numbers. And I'm just looking at him like, what are you talking about? And he's like, it don't take nothing but a second. And he put the money on the table for dinner, and he said, I'm gone. So I sat there, waited. He never came back. So I sat there, I'm like, well, that's nice that he paid. But still, where did that come from?
Oh my God.
I'm like, so I had those type of things to happen. We've been at dinner, and he would actually, he's sitting at the table, never moved. And because a guy looked at me, I guess one too many times, that was an issue. So
you knew him, or you were giving him secret looks like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna meet you in the bathroom. It's like, dude, what are we doing here?
Right. But some women do that. And see, this is the problem, right? Is that we'll say for every 3 women who don't, there's one who does. Right. And the last thing in this day and age, right, when so many people are getting played on both sides, really, right? No one wants to feel like the fool. No one wants to be the fool. No one wants to be the one who fell for the bullshit. Right. And I think that feeling of you really don't want to be the fool is even worse for men than it is for women. Right. Because we got egos. Right. But our ego isn't as tied to our self-identity as it is for men. So, when their ego gets demolished, right, one time, they're very scared about it turning into a trend, right? Like, we'll let it turn into a trend before we even realize it's a trend. It keeps happening over and over before we start being like, oh, no, we got bitter, we're jaded now. The littlest indication that he might be interested in other women other than you, since you've been cheated on by 10 different guys, no, that's it, you're gone, right? You won't give a guy half a chance anymore, right? He's got to be above perfect, right? But men are basically, I think men are trying to do the same thing, right? Where they're so scared of getting played, they're so scared of being the idiot and the butt of the joke and whatever, that they they're not giving women a chance, or they're reading too much into very innocent looking things. And that's why I say, like, well, how can they tell the difference? Because women are very good actresses. Well, let's be honest, right? Like, if we want to run a hustle, we're very good at manipulation. So then what do they do about it except just allow themselves to be the running butt of every joke? Or like, what can they do to tell the difference? Because I don't know. Like, I can't even tell them other than ask a woman, because women can tell women. We can read women very well. So,
right. Let me let me visit Don Teasy, because he did start up with me. So let me let me get on this plane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Got them plane tickets.
All right. So music. So tell us, as a man, right? It doesn't seem like you're the type of guy who's gonna put up with too much foolishness, or be some woman simp, or get played like that. So how do you tell the difference, for you personally? How do you tell the difference between like a woman who's on some game, or is gonna try to use you or play you, versus a woman with genuine intentions?
I would say probably, once you start dating, you get a good idea within that first 30 days of being around a woman, whether she really has genuine feelings for you, or just using you for what's in your wallet. And a lot of people want to say age isn't a factor, but of course, I'm over the age of 50. So if a young female comes to me at 25, 26, what you want?
Well, maybe she just think you high value and would like your want to be in your space, right?
Yeah, and the price is right. But it's just a matter. I mean, you really can't tell, because like you said, it's for every 5 women that say they're straight with you, there's 4 of them that you have to be aware of. It's the dating pit is just that. You really don't know who's really being genuine.
I mean, is it really that men are just that bad at detecting?
Yes.
Or is it that they're just worried about all women? They have this paranoia with all women.
Well, I think for a lot of men, I can't speak for a lot of men. I know for me, sometimes, I guess it's like that thing of, once bitten, twice shy. It happens that way. Who's to say that the next woman that this woman cheated on me? Who's to say the next woman that I'm dealing with, she says she's going to the grocery store, going for 6 hours? Wait a minute. So it's just different things like that.
Well, you know what? But also, it is actually the fact that men really can't tell. Like, science has proven men are horrible at reading emotion on women's faces, intentionality, women's voices. They don't read it. And so because their brains don't process it, even with women they love and they spend lots of time with, so they have a chance to learn her, they still have a very hard time processing this. They can process it in men's faces just fine, right? Women are better at reading stuff in men's faces, right? But men are very bad at reading that emotion and stuff like that in women's eyes and women's faces. So they literally actually can't. So because they can't, then it's like, well, like you said, once bitten, twice shy. It's every time it's a risk, because men are really not good at being able to read it themselves.
Yeah, I'll agree. I mean, we as women deal on emotions, we kind of deal with, dare I say, looks and the conquest. We love to chase, so sometimes we overlook a lot of things and not realizing that the chase is costing you a whole lot more, and that's all you're gonna do is get the chase, and that's it. Once like Bugs, what's the road runner and the coyote? Always chase them, never get caught, and just keep putting out keep putting out them dollars, keep putting out those dollars. So you got to ask yourself, for some time or the other, you did dating a woman for 6 months and you never get a chance to go to her house, or you only meet her at a restaurant, or she only time she want to talk to you is when she needs some money. If you don't figure it out by now, you're not getting played. That's on you.
Right? Well, that was well said.
Right?
And on that note, it is midnight. You know what we do at this time. We thank everybody for joining the panel and those that participated in the chat room. Thank you so much. Thank you for contributing to the channel. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys tune in tomorrow for Article Reaction, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we will play the commercial on the way out. Don't act like you forgot. And until then, you guys have a good night and peace.
Cheers, y'all.
Peace out, family.
Have a good one. Hey, folks, it's your nighttime. It's your right time DJ Music. Make sure you join Char Willie each and every Saturday, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, for Article Reaction, right here on your local YouTube channel. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe to Article Reaction.